Oh my God. What the hell?
You freaking rookie, man.
Well, shit happens, Iron Squrl. Don't judge me.
How you been, brother? 2
Been all
weeks,
right.
2 weeks.
Dude,
No, wait,
fuck.
we had a podcast last week. It's only been a
Yeah,
week.
it's been a week. Just a week.
Let me see if my link still works. It does. It brings us back to the live. All right. Because I send a link out, beforehand to a couple of friends that asked me to, basically because they're like, hey, can you just send it to me every week? So I do.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm excited for this one.
Oh, that might have fucked everything up.
What?
Okay, we're live. We're live there. I think we're live on Twitch for the first time.
Oh.
And are we on the tube? That is the question. I got the thumbnail uploaded
Yes.
though. Thumbnail's fire, right?
Yeah, we're live on the tube. I see Death Note, Noctrix, No House Gaming. Gary says,
caca.
Sessions, we're back. Negley's in the house. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up with Twitch? That's a shocker.
Twitch, yeah.
Experiment.
Well, it was on there, so I figured I'd add it. You know what I mean?
Hey, like, first time experiment with Gary. Fuck it. So, guys, we have Gary tonight. Everyone knows and loves Gary. I'm excited. I want to go ahead and bring them out. So TT Gary TTV is his name on TikTok, on Twitch, and on YouTube.
All the things.
Guy is so awesome.
All the things.
He has opened my eyes to so many different topics that I had no idea about. He's just a book of knowledge on so many fascinating topics around the world through history. Great guy to talk with. Lucid and I are very excited for this conversation. And this is somebody that I can honestly call a friend, and somebody, again, that I haven't had time, nor Lucid, have we ever really had a really long, deep conversation. So this should be an absolute
We've never had a deep conversation?
Awesome shit.
That's wild.
Never. Let's bring them out.
Bring who out? Who?
Gary.
Oh, Gary! Fuck.
Jesus.
Where is my
Lucid's
head?
Not awake yet. These Biscuits is in the house. Rob.
How do you bring him back now? What the fuck? Like, this program changes so much. Okay, hold on. I'll figure this out. Dude.
Did a manual? Did it come with a manual?
Like, for real. Like, why? So you click the three dots. I got him smart. I am so
poor Gary.
I was just going to recommend unplugging it and plugging it back in.
We do this every week. You wouldn't.
God, we're rookies, man.
That's all
nah, when we were doing it every week, we were way better than this. Well, I was anyway. I don't know about Squrl. Squrl's always good. I just kind of wing it, you know. Oh, fuck.
I got everything pulled up on my side. Well, welcome, Gary.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, Gary.
Excited for this one. I hope I did you service on your.
Oh, absolutely, sir.
I did practice.
And you're right. I don't think we either of us have had a long conversation, just chatting in streams and whatnot.
Yeah.
Except for the occasional those ones we were doing on Discord on Sundays.
Yeah, I think we were just touching the tip of the iceberg there. Never a long form. Never a long form conversation.
Yeah, just
touching tips.
It's okay sometimes.
It's okay. Yo, we got 2 people on chat on Yo, Riley with the Twitch raid, 32 viewers. Let's fucking go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, he raided the Twitch? How do you even know you were going live on Twitch?
I have no idea. He maybe saw the pop-up, I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you know, Gary? How did you fucking know? Or
that's crazy.
Riley, Jesus, I'm losing my mind.
I didn't even know. I found out earlier today.
Lucid's been up for 50 minutes. He's getting there.
Yeah, fuck. I got up, took a shower. I had to straighten the beard, do all the things.
You have to.
Yeah. I can't be out there.
What do you use to straighten that thing out?
When I'm feeling lazy, I have a hot comb that I use. But today, I went all out for you, Gary. I used the flat iron.
Oh, I feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Thank you. I had a hot comb before for the mustache, but it didn't really do much. I just blow dry it when I get out of the shower now.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh, Squirrel's gone.
Well, he's gone now.
Bye, Squrl. What happened? Oh, let in. I gotta let him in.
He's over it
Maybe I
already.
don't want to let you in. What'd you do?
My public chat's not working.
Huh. Yeah, I've got all the chats pulled up except for Facebook because nobody ever goes there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the public chat for me, it's empty, but I got the YouTube up.
Well, let me see if mine works.
I've got it open
Public
in a separate
chat,
box.
yeah,
So.
empty.
Yeah, so if you see me looking up like that, it's I'm looking up at the other monitor.
Yeah, I'm pulling mine over now, so I don't miss anything.
Yeah, now that I have this other monitor, it's freaking way up there now. It's pretty high.
Yeah, mine's up on the wall. It's a old TV that we had because it was cheaper to replace the TV in the living room than to buy a monitor. It still worked, and I'm not a fan of wasting money. So
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, so Christy and I, we split it. When she streams, she uses it. When I stream, I use it. Or
nice
for research, because I did a decent amount of research this week because I want to make sure I'm freshened up on it because I got a lot of stuff rattling around inside my head and some things might mix. I'm like, let me make sure I make one path. Because I get squirreled easy.
Right.
Well, once you learn enough, you figure out it's all kind of intertwined. It's all connected somehow. Everything they all the families know each other, and it's like, oh, that's a really weird series of 9 coincidences for that to happen.
I have a feeling my head's gonna hurt after tonight.
Right.
Yeah,
I tried to bring the rabbit hole that is Gary into the thumbnail this week. If you didn't notice,
that thumbnail was good.
The thumbnail was amazing.
There's a lot going on there.
There was. Every time I looked at it, there was something different.
Yeah, yeah. The background, all kinds of
Easter eggs.
Yeah, Easter eggs. Yep.
Yeah.
So Gary, if you were going to do an introduction for yourself, or give us a little bit of background story, on who Gary is for the folks that don't know you, and for the people that may be listening to this from the future, what would you want to tell them?
Well, a little bit about myself. So, I was born and raised in Michigan, and I knew there wasn't really a future for me if I just stayed there. So as soon as I graduated, I joined the Marines. I enlisted initially for 5 years. I did 3 deployments, and then I re-enlisted when I was overseas. I did another 2 deployments, and then when I was at my 9-year mark, it was time to either re-enlist again or get out. And on that last deployment, my daughter, the technology was good enough to where we could actually do like a video call pretty frequently. It would have been like 2009, I believe was my last one. And I remember I was talking with my wife, Christy, and she said, "You'll never believe what your daughter said today." And she's so smart, right? I was like, "What'd she say?" She asked if we could go to your work today. And I'm like 3 months deployed at this point. I was like, "Oh, what for?" She said, "Well, that way when you get out of work, we can bring you home." I'm like, I still got like 6 months left of doing this. So I was like, okay. So I had a decision. It's like I could stay in or I could be a good dad. So I decided to get out. Figured I'd done my time and went back home. I was an aircraft mechanic. I worked on helicopters. So luckily there was an airport not too far away from where I'm from. So it was easy transition into a job. After being there for a while, I felt like I peaked. Pretty much I was told I peaked. They offered me 50 cents an hour to stay like 4 years ago. So I'm like, well, thank you for making my decision really easy. And I took a job down in Southern Georgia, where life exponentially got better when you're away from toxic sides of both you and your wife's family. So you can just feel the weight get lifted off your shoulders. And yeah, I've just been doing aviation ever since 2002.
Wow. So going back to the choosing to be a Marine or a dad thing, I know a lot of guys struggle with that, and I applaud you for that one. Hell yeah!
Thank you.
And thank you for your service.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, it was a pretty easy decision because like I didn't have like a horrible childhood or growing up, but it could have been better. I didn't get beat or anything like that, but I knew when we started having kids that I wanted to be a good dad. I try my best to be a good husband. I try my best to be a good dad above anything else, which is why I get up at 1:30 in the morning to go to work. So I can be home enough time to, chat with my wife and kids before dinner. Then we talk during dinner every day, and then stream after that usually.
I had that as one of my questions. How many hours a night do you sleep?
I usually go to bed somewhere between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, and I get up at 1:30. So I'm probably slowly killing myself. I used to have.
Actually, that's probably more sleep than I get.
Yeah.
No.
I actually had a smart ring that I had on my thumb, and it monitors your sleep. And the first night I wore it, it basically told me that I didn't go to sleep. And I was like, I slept 4 hours. What are you talking about? Yeah, I did. And then the next night it did it again, and it gave me a sleep score of like 38%.
Yeah.
And I was like, it is what it is.
But
on the weekends I sleep up. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for some people, yeah. But now, like on the weekends, I usually wake up about 4:30, 5 o'clock the first time, and then I'll let the dogs out, use the bathroom, and then I'll lay back in bed, and I kind of got to lay there for a minute before I'll actually fall back asleep. But I can just get up at that point, and it feels like I slept forever because my body's used to not having, which I know it's not good for me. You know, the studies have been done. You're supposed to get 8 hours, but I don't have time.
Yeah, no. Who's got time for that? 8 hours is ridiculous. Whoever came up with that number is smoked.
And if I sleep more than 6 hours a night, my back hurts.
Shit, I slept for 3 hours today, and my back is killing me.
Yeah.
I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
7.5, 8 hours, or I'm cooked. I'm like cooked. I'm like, ooh, don't talk to me. I need a nap.
But yeah, I usually go to bed because like I'll get off stream and we'll watch some YouTube. We have a few channels that we watch, either some gun tubers or some funny stuff, and then 8:30 is a good time for the kids to go to bed when they have school, because my wife gets them up at 6, or I think 6:15, so they get enough sleep, because kids, you know, they need more sleep than adults do.
Right. Speaking of gun tubers, man, I miss Matt. You know?
Me too.
He retired.
Demolition Ranch.
YouTube's just not the same. I watched all of them, man.
Yeah.
Demolition Ranch, Off the Ranch, you know, it was great, but not anymore. Made so much money on YouTube, he retired at like 30.
Yeah, he definitely did it right. That's for certain. I know it was because he was one of the ones that we would watch, and it was definitely a sad day, because I thought it was a joke at first.
Yeah.
And then he just didn't have any new videos, and I'm like, uh-oh, okay. But no, he chose same thing. He chose his family and other avenues over that. So, you know.
Right. Good for him.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And thanks for Taco Squad, Gary Squad, all the squads pulling up for the special occasion. I see lots of new faces, and
we got 32 viewers on Twitch. We've got Gary. This is the most I've ever had on Twitch. It's all because of you.
It's got nothing to do with me. It's got nothing to do with me.
Bullshit.
Well, I tell you what. By the time this is over, it'll be down to -4.
Negative? Yeah, you're gonna lose followers tonight.
That'd be wild. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Some questions.
16 on YouTube.
So on YouTube, there was a question about how do you share. So if you're on mobile, you actually have to hit the back button once. It keeps you in the stream, but then you should see the like button, which that gives Lucid and I the moment to say, don't forget to smash the button. He's not awake yet. Yeah, you gotta smash the like button.
Smash the button.
That's what all the YouTube people do. Yeah. And then while you're there, there's also, you should see the share thing pop up as well.
What's up, Rob?
Yeah. Good questions,
Robbie.
Who said that?
I had a question and I just lost it. It was
man, it's old age.
Where do you want to start?
It was a curveball.
You know, I'll admit I didn't have time. Work has been so freaking crazy this week. I didn't have time to watch any of the research material. I watched a little bit last night, but that's pretty much it.
Right. And it's the only thing like that. I'm never going to try to convince anybody about what my opinion is. I'm just going to give facts about things, and you can decide on your own. But just some things just make sense, and some things don't make sense. You know. So.
Right.
It was Twitch and Gary. So, Lucid, did you know that Happy Gal, which you probably, I think you've at least heard the name. Did you know, she rated him?
Oh,
I almost didn't stream that.
That's a pretty big deal.
Almost.
Dude.
It was.
I see her on TikTok, and she's always got like 8,000 people in her chat. You know, on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had. It's very similar on Twitch.
He had to cut his TTS off.
So I have this thing where the emojis will pop up on the screen, and because that's like all her chat does, and it went from having like 4 people in there, which is usually my average, to having like I think it said like 1.2K in there, and all they do is they just drop emojis. So the screen was full. You couldn't see me anymore. I was in the lobby. I was eating ice cream in between matches, and there's just these faces and eggplants and stuff bouncing around on the screen. You couldn't even see anything.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, I almost didn't stream that day. So anybody that's out there thinking about not doing it, that might be the day you get rated by Happy Gal.
Oh yeah, cool. That's wild.
It's cool, and I think it's important to share just because it can happen to anybody. I mean, it's literally, I mean,
really can.
All right. Before we get into some of the topics, there's a couple things in the news right now that I've seen all over my feeds. One, what's your take on Anthony Fauci going to Congress and claiming the Fifth Amendment 111, I think it was 111 times, not answering a single question related to COVID or how the COVID response was handled?
Is that for me?
Not surprising at all.
Yeah. Toss it to you first, and then Lucy can go.
It doesn't surprise. I mean, there's a reason we have the Fifth Amendment. I mean, even though you don't like somebody, all those amendments apply to everybody, and it's to keep you from self-incriminating. I mean, I tell my wife and kids and my family the same thing. If you ever get like pulled over, you got cops talking to you, just be quiet. Don't do their job for them. But from the stuff we've seen, they already have enough. I think what they're trying to do is get the court of public opinion on their side. Because right now there's 2 sides. Either you love them or you hate them. I don't know if you remember the stuff that was going on back then. The propaganda it was on both sides. But there was this one that I remember. It seemed like a autistic kid, and he was wearing a face mask, and he was like, "Dr. Fauci, give us vaccines." And he's sitting there, and you can clearly tell that this poor like teenage kid, that he didn't have a great home life. Somebody was abusing him, and then they put him up on stage to sing that Broadway tune. There was stuff like that going on. I don't know. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that was happening then. So you gotta. It's the same thing with like a war. Without public interest on your side, it's not going to be successful. It's all about propaganda, keeping us divided instead of distracted, rather than so I went and got gas the other day, and somebody had gotten $15 in gas, because that's probably all they had to put in their gas tank was $15. Now, I don't know how much gas is where you guys are. That's not going to get me very far. But I've also been a while since I've seen somebody actually have an even number. That means somebody paid cash, right? They didn't swipe their card and be like, okay, $15. Because I go to the gas pump, I put my card in, and when that thing clicks, I try to squeeze a little more in that tube, and it clicked again. All right, I'm done. And it's like, whatever, 55, 78, whatever it is.
55 or 78?
No, hell no. I'm getting the 56. I don't until
it
starts squirting back out. Unless it's squirting back out into the ground.
Have you ever had that happen though?
The pump just sucks back in if you're giving them money if you do that.
No, because I start like tapping it and just just a little more, just like
you got to see that. Right? You got to see that even number,
just like got it.
Kind of
that whole number,
like pulling it out a little bit. Because if you pull the tip out a little bit, you might be able to get a little bit more in there.
I go till it clicks, and that's it.
And then
4 kids, my pull-out game
trigger. You hit the trigger a little too hard, and you get splashback. Come on.
No, it gives me that second click. I know it's full.
I can't. I'm
like
not
gas
stopping.
here is over $5 a gallon,
and that's for regular gasoline. That's not diesel.
Regular unleaded, over $5.
No, thank you.
That's crazy, dude.
I think $1.68 in tax alone, just state tax.
Yep,
which is crazy. Yeah, they just upped it actually.
I have no doubt.
Yeah, fucking nuts. So, where are we going first, boys?
I'm gonna leave it to Gary.
Okay. Well, we can stay on the Fauci for a minute. I did see a clip where this one guy back in 2020, I guess he made a decision. Now he's a congressman, I believe. He decided to sell all his businesses just so and run for I think it was Congress he was running for. He ran for office just so that he could tell Fauci, what the fuck were you doing? What made you think you could do that? And I was like, that is awesome. That is hilarious. And then I started getting more clips about that.
That was the same guy who said, "Are you going to answer a single question?" And he was like, "Wait. What color is the carpet in front of you, Dr. Fauci?" And Dr. Fauci looks down at his pad and he goes, "I'm going to plead the fifth, blah, 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 blah." He wouldn't even answer what color the carpet was. I was like,
I wouldn't answer anything. You know, his lawyers told him that. He's got a team of lawyers. I mean, we were paying, our tax dollars were paying for his security after he was out of his position for I don't know how long, until Trump decided to end that.
Yeah.
I'm sure and that's the bad part. I mean, he was receiving threats on his life, which I don't.
Yeah, he obviously, he shouldn't. That needs to be handled, you know, legally. But I mean, so, you guys know much about the Spanish influenza back in like the 1920, I think it was?
A bit.
A little.
Yeah, so you can actually find pictures of people wearing cloth masks back then, and there's signs where it says wear a mask or go to jail. Now you can also find pictures of like they're like at a school or like an orphanage, and like the teachers have them on, but then there's always like 2 or 3 guys in like not trench coats, but you know what they wore back in the day, and they didn't have them, but they would be like a masked person, not masked, you know, some kind of, call them an international bank or whatever you want to call them, somebody, and then masked person, and it was like, well, if you were supposed to everybody wearing a mask, why are these 3 excluded from doing that? Right. And it was weird. There's a lot of similarities of what happened just, you know, 6 years ago. Seems like there's some kind of epidemic or something like that every 100 years.
I always say follow the money, and what makes me sick is if it was money motivated, and from what I understand, Dr. Fauci made a shit ton of money through that ordeal, and not just from book deals. There were other things going on, and I think they called that out in that session, and they particularly called out where there was just tons and tons of studies where ivermectin was shown to have success in COVID cases, and they questioned Fauci on this was available. These studies were published prior to you announcing to the nation that.
Well, they were making ivermectin hard to get too.
Exactly.
Well, it's not even that.
They wanted to cover
ivermectin was on their NIHD website. It was the second thing down. The first one was I don't remember, whatever drug that he had stock in, the one that would kill your liver. And then the next one down was ivermectin, and you could see the side effects. And there was like, you might get an upset stomach, you know, some nausea, something like that. But there was like no side effects. And then there was other ones, but they were out there saying, no, you can't use ivermectin, it'll kill you. But if you go to the NIHD website, it was on their list of things to take.
Yeah.
If you have COVID. And it's like,
there's people here going to the friggin' livestock store to buy that shit. Ivermectin.
I have some from Tractor Supply in my bedroom right now. Yeah, whenever there's a sniffle in my house, everybody gets some. I mean, all my horses get some.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go to Tractor Supply and get it.
Yep.
You know,
right there.
But there was similar but kind of different, the AIDS epidemic in the 80s. I don't know if you guys ever watched Dallas Buyers Club with Matthew McConaughey.
I have not watched that.
You need to watch it. It's a good movie. Anthony Fauci is the bad guy in that movie. He's the villain.
Really?
Yeah. So AIDS killed a lot of people, but it wasn't really AIDS that was killing them. It was the AZT. It was the drug that they were prescribing out to the people. And there was people that were going down, and they just started eating healthy, getting off of processed foods, exercise, you know what I mean? Treating themselves right. And they got better. So there's like 2 celebrities that had AIDS in like the late 80s, early 90s that you can kind of use as like a benchmark. One of them kept taking AZT and he died shortly after. And the other one, he stopped taking it because it made him feel like shit. And he's still alive to this day. And that is Freddie Mercury and Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson. Yep.
Freddie Mercury took AZT and he ended up dying in the 90s, right? Magic Johnson's still alive today.
Yep.
Living with AIDS.
I didn't know
that.
HIV
at this point.
Now that's a separate rabbit hole I'm going to have to dive down. See, I knew.
You're welcome.
I didn't know. I never knew that. I did not know that.
Yep. Yeah, he was a big part of the AIDS epidemic in the 80s. There was gays that were out there protesting, saying that he was trying to kill all the gays.
Shit. And that Fauci was.
Yeah, they were protesting Fauci. It's a younger Fauci. It's him. He looks the same, but his hair's darker because he's not old as hell.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Lucid's looking it up right now.
Holy shit. That's a holy shit.
Yeah, you can find the videos of it.
One.
Yeah.
Evidently, Riley was an ivermectin dealer.
Nice.
What I'm reading.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Bro, hook it up, bro. I got some horses.
You just go to go to Tractor Supply. It's pretty cheap too. So when the first time I got it, I went because I'd heard enough about it. They're like, there's videos I've seen of people just going to Tractor Supply and get it. So I go there and I'm all nervous, like, I'm getting ready. I'm like, I'm not going to be giving it to a dog, you know what I mean, or whatever. And the lady asks me, she says, she's like, what are you looking for? Because they have it in a lock cabinet. It's in a lock cabinet now. And she asked me what I was looking for. I was like, I'm looking for, and I had it up on my phone. I was like, I'm looking for some of this. She's like, okay. She's like, is it for like you, or is it for like some of your animals? And I was like, not sure how to answer that. She's like, well, if it's for you, then I recommend 1 milliliter per 100 pounds of body weight. She's like, if it's for an animal, it's a slightly different thing. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I have 4 little calves at the house, and I want to make sure that, whatever. And she actually had moved from another part of the state where her grandma was giving her that stuff all the time. So they came to visit her because they were like 6 or 7 hours away from where she had moved from. And when they came, they're like, oh, yeah, you just got to take some of this, because like she had some kind of sniffle or something when they came to visit, and pretty much cleared it right up.
Yeah, I've yet to try it. I mean, I never.
It's very. It tastes like crap, but it's quick.
Is it a liquid?
It's a clear liquid.
Yeah.
So what I did is, I don't know how much of this I could say, and you guys won't get in trouble, but you get a syringe with a needle, and it's got like the little rubber top, and you pull some out, take the needle off, and you just squirt it in your mouth. And it's very chemically tasting, but like some orange juice, or even I just chase it with some water. My 13-year-old son takes it like a champ. He's just like, okay, whatever.
Might be good to have on hand.
Yeah. I keep some on hand. So, I mean, like I said, I got 4 kids, 3 of them are in school. So here in a couple of weeks, they'll all be getting sniffly because, school for us starts next Tuesday.
Jeez, it seems so early.
Well, we end in May down in southern Georgia. It's hot. So.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not too far.
So, yeah, in like 2 weeks, my kids will be sick, and they're going to be getting that chemically tasting ivermectin.
You know what this means. Back to school.
And ever since I started doing it, there's been I think there's been probably 3 sick days between the 3 of them that are in school in the couple of years I've been doing it now. Now, it could be the weather down here. It could be us not being where we were living before, which wasn't a bad place. It's, who knows what it could be, but every little bit helps. You don't build a house with 1 brick.
Yeah, I just pick some of that. I never get sick, but it would be nice to just have it,
Yeah. It's pretty rare that I get sick. But yeah, once there's a sniffle going around, I mean, I take it. I just take 2 milliliters. You know what? I actually gave some to my dogs too. That was fun. Yeah. You had to hold their mouths and kind of put it between their teeth to squirt it in there, and then they look at you funny.
What the hell did you just put in my mouth?
Yeah, I know it tastes bad too.
Catching up on both chats now. Cosmic Taste says same here, but they're in virtual schooling. That's interesting. For virtual.
Why they're virtual?
Lord Tacklebox says he misses Georgia somewhat.
That was probably, short of asking my wife to marry me, it's the best decision I ever made.
Riley said he deals it in the paste form and crumble form, as well as like granola.
Yep. Yeah, like, so the way I get it, it's a brown bottle and it's a liquid, but you can get what they call horse paste, and you can get like apple flavor and stuff like that. I actually had a guy at the work now. He got the paste. It looks like kind of like a toothpaste tube, kind of, but he did his math wrong, and he ended up having the decimal place in the wrong spot, and he took like 10 times as much as he was supposed to. He said he felt like crap. I was like, yeah, every single parasite inside of your body just died, and you're detoxing right now.
all at once. Yeah.
Yeah, all the good ones, even the good ones.
All the good ones, all the bad ones.
Everything.
Yeah. They had like loose stool and everything.
Oh,
Like, yeah, you just killed everything inside your body.
Damn. Yeah. Well, it's like taking a reboot, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's just start
Yeah,
over.
that's all right.
Fuck
Grabbed
it.
his boot card, went to the van, got him back up.
That's funny. Virtual since COVID is crazy.
Wow.
Oh my God, what blue state are you
in? Some medical issues. Yeah.
Now, if you want, we can talk about that for a bit before we get into the conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
So, depending on where you are politically, I align more to the right, but there's some things that Trump has done that I like, and there's some stuff that I obviously don't like. I was a huge fan of Trump up until the beginning of this year when he started, because he was the no war president, and now we're doing all this stupid stuff on behalf of another country that's not going to benefit us at all.
Right.
But it's this illusion, this left and right, Democrat Republican paradigm that it's just a distraction, when at the end of the day, I don't care what my neighbor is. My grandparents, they voted on the left, but we still shot guns in the backyard every Sunday, while they were still alive. It didn't matter. It wasn't nearly as divided as it is now. But the division, it's just a distraction, right? At the end of the day, everybody, unless you're an evil person, wants your fellow human to be successful, to be healthy. You know what I mean? That's what everybody wants. I don't really care how you vote. Sometimes I think voting is a waste of time. You should do it, but when you see the fraud that's on both sides, I feel like it's kind of a waste.
It's already chosen. 98%.
Yeah,
of the time,
I didn't quite believe that until I started actually paying attention to some elections in Michigan, which made me look at elections in other states, and I was like, oh, there's never really a 50-50 vote, and then one wins by 1%, and one's 51, and the other one's 49. Like, that's not the case, because when I like where I was at, it was nothing but, now I'm not picking a side here, but it was nothing but Trump signs and the occasional Biden sign back in 2020, occasional. But where I lived was a place where people would come visit from the city in the summertime. If you guys ever see those movies where like there's the locals that live there, and in the summertime the city slickers would come up there, and there'd be romance and between the teenagers, blah blah. It was very similar to that. So these houses were those ones where there was nobody living there most of the year, and the day after the election, all those Biden signs were gone out of those yards now, but all the Trump flags were still up. So I know for a fact my area was a very, very Trump supportive. He didn't win by much, in my area. I'm like, well, just with what I can see with my eyes, I know that's not the case. And then I know in the blue areas, they're always fudging numbers, right? And I know for a fact there's been Republicans that have won, but it's because they do the same thing. They're all doing the same tricks, because for one bill will go, and that one side would be like, oh, we need this bill to pass, or this many people are going to die, we got to take care of them. And the other side's like, oh my God, if we pass it, these many people. And then they all go behind closed doors and they all vote yes and line their pockets. Next bill will come up, and the other side would be like, oh, we need this bill to pass, yada, yada, yada. And the other side's like, oh, we don't need this bill, blah, blah, it's going to waste. And then they all go behind closed doors and they all vote yes and line their pockets. Some nephew or some uncle has some company where, it's going to line. We've spent money on how much amphetamine we can give a shrimp and get it to run on a treadmill.
I believe
you can find a video right now.
I want to see a shrimp.
Just look up shrimp running on treadmill. There was a thing that I don't know, he probably still does. Rand Paul would do at the end of the year. It was the pork budget or something like that. He would go through this list of stuff where we just wasted millions and billions of dollars every year on the stupidest things, like teaching, I don't know, some third world country in Africa about something about gender fluidity or something like it was something ridiculous. We gave them like almost $1 million, if not over $1 million. We're spending money to help tighten up the elections in other countries. And I'm like, listen, I'm all about helping my neighbors out, but I care about my house, right? I consider the United States my house. So why would I go to another city to somebody else's house to fix their doorknob when my faucet is leaking in my bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. Why would I take care of somebody else's house when I can't even take care of my own? It doesn't make any sense.
Because they're paying them. Plain and
Oh,
simple.
absolutely. It's all money / power driven.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, because I think even the money can be a distraction. You give somebody kind of a lower level enough money, they can kind of have whatever they want. Eventually, they get bored. Right? Like, well, I can buy everything I want now. Now what? Well, that's when you find out that some people like to do stuff that's in the Epstein files. If you know about jerky and pizza parties and hot dog parties and stuff like that.
It's weird how, as a society, we always blame a political party, but never the government as a whole. So no matter what, if you're red or blue, oh, it's Trump's fault. Oh, it's Biden's fault. Nobody ever says it's the whole fucking house is fucked. Like the whole house of cards is fucked.
They're all a bunch of fucking idiots.
And I think that's why, because if we're divided, we have no power. We're busy bickering at ourselves. We're busy bickering about that instead of actually getting together as a nation, as an American people, and being united for our country. Because if we did that, we'd be way too powerful. We would be unstoppable. But while we're divided, while we're bickering, while we're arguing, while we're fighting to pay taxes and having to work 2 and 3 jobs, and both members of the household have to have money coming in because it's no longer feasible practically for most to have a single family income. Like it's so many cards in the deck are stacked against us. We can never, ever come together like our great grandfathers did to overthrow a tyrant or overthrow a nation.
Right. I mean, we started a revolution over what, like 0.7%? We started a revolution over. So, most states is 6% sales tax.
9.2 here.
Well, I said most. I'm not sure if I count your state as a state.
Everybody throws out numbers. I make 50,000 a year. I make 75,000 a year. I make 100,000 a year. I make 200,000 a year. How much of that do you really bring home? How much of that actually hits your bank account?
Right.
About cut the number in half, practically, and that's sickening. I mean, the more you think about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's going to stuff that you probably don't support of anyway. Most of it is not going to feed the people that are hungry in this country. It's not going to make sure that the people that are sleeping outside can sleep inside. You know what I mean? It's not going to that. It's going overseas. It's going to somebody's, I don't know, probably to build a data center in the county next to you, because they got some kind of grant.
Right. Yeah.
Data centers.
Yeah. But it's not going to where you want it to go. You would never support it because, like you were saying, left versus right, red versus blue, black versus white, divided. We're not strong. So they got to keep us divided with that illusion, that distraction, that your fellow man is your enemy. It's like, no, I think we need to bring tar and feathering back.
They just give you enough so you can buy that boat every 10 years. You can go.
You can afford a boat.
You can go on the family trip. Yeah, no. You can go on the family trip, once every couple of years, just enough to keep you happy.
Right.
And anything beyond that, they have their hand out. Shit,
a lot of times
I just paid the state $2,500 today.
Yeah, and it's not even necessarily it's to make you think that you're happy.
Right.
Like, well, I'm eating today, so I must be happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, well, no, it's not what this country was founded on, but okay.
I do feel like there's at least an illusion now. I feel like for the most part, I know I do. I live better than the childhood I had. And I feel like when I look around at most, and being objective, not just my small circle of people, like looking outside of that, looking around, I feel like in general, most people are doing better than at least what I experienced in my childhood. So I think there is. Maybe that's a bad statement. I'm not sure where you're at. I mean, I know we've got there's a ton of homelessness. There's a ton of people hooked on drugs, and I get that. But like, does it sound cruel to say set that to the side for a second? Just talk about everyday, regular people, families, etc. I feel like we're doing better than we were in the 80s.
I think that would. Well, you were a kid then, so you probably didn't notice as much as you do now as an adult. But I wouldn't be a good father or husband if I lived in an area where my family saw the bad stuff that you were talking about, the drugs and the prostitution or, violence. I couldn't have my family live in that because I'd be failing as a father and a husband. And most of the problems I think we have in the country come down to the failure of fathers doing their job. So so that's probably why you don't see it. I imagine you probably wouldn't have you and your kids living in the ghetto or living in a trailer park, But what I do know is I wasn't supportive of Biden at all, but during his administration, my life improved. Probably because I got this job, because this was when I got it, was while he was president. So I'm one of the few occasions where my life actually got better while he was president. It literally had nothing to do with him, because the president of the United States really doesn't affect your day-to-day life as much as like the mayor of your city. Like, do you know the name of the mayor of your city?
No, I don't.
That's fair.
You're right.
Your local board,
your superintendents, and
yeah. My wife was invited to be on the school board. She's part of the PTO for the school. That's going to affect my kids more than it's going to, president giving more money to Ukraine this month or this week. I don't know how often they do it anymore. I stopped paying attention.
It's true. It's very true.
They ran out of paper for the receipt.
You know how many less people vote in their local elections versus like a highly publicized, highly ad-driven campaign for president, or even for, maybe a Senate and what have you, where there's just, millions of dollars being thrown around in ad revenue and lots of hoopla on Facebook. Meanwhile, the really important local elections just kind of get forgotten about by the majority.
Right. And your local politics is going to affect your day-to-day more than it's going to affect even just like your state elections are going to affect you more than the country, than the national ones.
Mm-hmm.
So we have people that they actually have enough gas in their tank to get to Georgia because the gas is cheaper in Georgia. So they'll drive into Georgia to get their gas because like they live in Florida, but they'll work up here where I work, and they'll drive from Florida. And as soon as they get across the state line, they'll fill up. And then, that's where they're going to do it because it's, I don't know how much cheaper it is, but it's cheaper to get gas here. And it has to do with the different politicians that they have in there. Now, they don't have income tax there. They don't have state income tax. So there's a give and a take with everything. But
that's one tax we don't have here, but they're pushing for it very hard.
State income?
Yeah. Yeah, they've been pushing, especially the current government. Yeah. They're the current governor.
That unconstitutional thing that nobody should be paying anyway.
Yes, that's it. I think the last time they just recently tried to pass that again, and it was shot down because it's against state constitution. Thank God.
But they're still the state constitution trying. And the federal one.
Yeah, they're still trying.
And if you actually read it, so if you actually read about income tax as a person, like a person that goes to job and has like a 9-to-5 and gets a W-2 or whatever, it's a voluntary system. If you actually read what's going on, there's certain stipulations. Like if you work for the government, you would pay income tax because that's one of the reasons that would make you liable for income tax. You'd have to work. So being in the military or being a congressperson or governor or whatever.
DOD.
Yep. Anytime you work for the government, that's one of the reasons that you would have to pay it. Being a business owner, I'm not exactly sure how that works because I'm not a business owner, but I'm sure there's something in there where you have to pay a certain amount. Because I know as a business owner, I'm pretty certain your business has to pay. Like you got to pay as a business owner, and then you personally have to pay because you have to pay yourself from your business to get you pay yourself a paycheck.
Double screwed.
Yep. And again, you probably don't like where the money's going.
No. I think this state's probably one of the most mismanaged states, is what I've heard as far as what they do with the tax money. Because as much money as they're bringing in, they're always out of fucking money. It's crazy.
What, Chad didn't work out? Or Chop, whatever they ended up calling
it. Right? No. Yeah, it didn't work.
No. If you know, you know.
Yeah. I don't even know. Like, our governor was trash, so they elected the attorney general, the standing attorney general, as the new governor, and he was the one pulling the strings. So everybody wants to complain, but you put this jack off in office. You know what I mean? It's like people.
Well, it used to be.
It's like people from Washington moving to Idaho and voting the same. You know, they want to get out of Washington because it's trash, so they go to Idaho and vote exactly the same as they were in Washington.
Yeah, like ruining Idaho, going to Texas, doing the same thing.
Same thing.
So, yeah, the tar and feathering, they used to do that to show the politicians that they didn't actually have the power. The people had the power. You're elected by the people, so it was to keep them in check. So, maybe not necessarily hot tar and feathers, even though I wouldn't be against it. You got to do it once in a while. You know, you just grab your local one, and even though you didn't do anything, because it used to be a public service, it used to be like a civic duty, like a privilege to do it, and now people do it to make money. They go into office worth like maybe a couple $1,000s, and then after 2 years, they're worth like over $1 million. I mean, they have an app right now where that'll actually trade the same stocks as some politicians, and all you do is you got to give the app money, and it'll just follow whatever Pelosi was voting, whatever this politician, whatever they were trading, it'll buy and sell the same way they do.
All the insider trading plus the pocket lining, you know, you're getting all the kickbacks. So
my 401k would be sitting so fucking pretty if I followed Nancy Pelosi. I'm so mad.
Yeah, should have.
Yeah. Like, I'm talking like, you know, my measly 8 or 10% return. She's, I think, what's her average is like 68% return or something crazy over 10 years.
Something ridiculous.
Sheesh. Yeah.
Could be retiring.
Could be.
Could have. Probably. You could have retired like Matt.
How much, if you think tomorrow Fox News went away and CNN and like all the mainstream media, both sides, people just stop watching it. I'm not going to say shut down because they'll never shut down. They'll never go bankrupt because they already are bankrupt. But
yeah, they are.
People would just keep funding them to keep them afloat. From what I understand, there's not a lot of people that watch the news compared to numbers. But there's still a good portion that do. And so people take Fox for, you know, Fox is, you know, that's the right news source. No, CNN. I think they're both shit. And
they both suck.
If that went away, if everyone stopped watching the news there and started getting it from just non-biased source, independent reporters,
people like
that aren't connected to advertising,
ones that tell the truth, maybe.
Yeah.
That you know, don't
how much better would the world
bullshit on everything.
I don't just mean the U.S. I mean the world, because perfect example, the World Cup. How many people from other countries came over to the United States for the World Cup, and they were like, "Oh my God, it's not that bad." Dude, all they've ever seen is their news. They've seen their news reporting on us, talking about how bad we were.
Yeah, it's not even that they came here and it wasn't that bad. They're like, it is really nice here. They're like, you guys have food and it's clean and this and that. There was videos of people crying because they had to leave.
Yeah, I watched the YouTube video on a couple from the UK that came over for the World Cup, and they did not want to leave, and they were already booking their next trip back to the US because it was so nice and everyone was so nice to them, which depends where you go, I guess. But
it really does. It really does.
But, you know, it's like, what are these people actually hearing about Americans?
Their news just as bad as ours. Yeah. What are we hearing about other countries?
Just like, I mean, we're told Russia is the enemy and China is the enemy. Right. But you had Tucker Carlson go over to Russia and show you what it was like there. And they're like, they love America there. There was, you know, that there was a movie, Nicolas Cage, The Lord of War.
Yes.
About the guy that, right? So that's based on that's a real guy. Right. We traded him for that basketball player, I think, whatever her name was.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
we did
yeah.
like
Yeah.
a prisoner swap, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
traded him for that one female basketball player. And he got interviewed over there about, you just spent 14 years in an American prison. How much do you not like America? He's like, I love America. He's like, everybody was really nice there. He's like, I feel bad for them because they're losing their country, because there's
Yeah.
people that are born and live here and they fucking hate it here. And I'm like, you have no idea
Yeah.
what you have.
Go ahead and
They've
leave.
probably never left their city or never left their county. Like, you have no idea how good you have it. Even somebody on the poverty level in this country is still like the top 1% on the planet. And then I see videos of people that they go to visit China, or they go to visit Japan or Russia, and they're like, it's really nice here. It's not. Now, they obviously don't have the same freedoms that we have here, but it's not nearly as bad. There's not like, police officer just whipping people in the streets and stuff because they spoke out against the government.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it might affect their job, who knows, but it can affect your job here.
Right.
So, like when people ask, well, are you worried about certain apps and stuff? Like, you sign the thing, like, oh, I agree to all the terms of service. Like, oh, aren't you worried about what China's going to do with your information? I'm like, I'm more worried about what our government's going to do with my information. Fuck, do I care what China's going to do?
Right. Like let's ban TikTok and DJI because I don't want
TikTok
China seeing what I
from a
filmed with my
guy
drone.
from Singapore.
Yeah. Like, the thing that gets me is the whole DJI ban, and now they're going after like Extra Muse being basically a subsidiary of DJI, so they're trying to ban Extra Muse or the extra company. Sky Rover is DJI drones. They're banning those. Like, I had a deposit on the new extra camera coming out, and they refunded my money because they don't know when they're going to be able to release because of the new bans. They're starting to ban all these extra companies now, even though they're US licensed, just because they're part of DJI. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. Like,
it's crazy the stuff we're fed, and I can only imagine what the news looks like in Europe. And it's their mainstream media. I'm not sure if it would be BBC or maybe there's Fox or CNN over there. I don't know, but I can only imagine the news is like, well, in America today, angry orange man says this, and more guns, 100 million guns were bought yesterday, and crime in Chicago, death rates up. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all the bad.
I
So it
actually-
paints this
Well,
crazy
I
picture.
actually
Well,
see
Chicago has like one of the most. They have the most gun laws in the country. Is in Chicago.
Yeah.
And the violence is the highest, and it's like,
Yeah.
I wonder if those are correlated.
I like watching Australian news, like Sky News. You ever watch that shit?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
They fucking love America, right?
Yeah.
And they always talk shit about the left. It's hilarious to me. Just watching Sky News, it's entertaining.
Sky, it's definitely funny.
Yeah.
I'm
I've
super
watched,
cautious of
them a few
any
times.
news outlet that leans either direction. Like, I just want news, Like, I don't want to twist. I don't want to, because I'm more like to Gary's side. Like, both sides are a fucking joke. Now,
they
is
are,
one
100%.
one side a little less a joke than the other? Yes. I got it.
Yeah, I mean, I
But-
lean. If I had to label myself, I lean more Republican. But like, this is my opinion. In order to be a Democrat, you either got to be evil or you got to be ignorant, right? This is just my opinion. But then there's a bunch of Republicans in office that are a bunch of pussies. Like, you won't do anything about it. They just sit there and talk, and then they don't pass any bills or they don't fix anything about it. So it's like, you guys both suck for different reasons.
Yes.
When I just want all the people that live around me, like, there's this homeless guy that I see living in the woods, not too far from my house. He has some dogs, right? And he goes and he feeds them and stuff. I'm like, this guy is doing a contribution to society. Like, there's these dogs that aren't just running around. Like, he actually has them on leashes. He walks them and stuff. But I know he lives in the woods, not too far away. Because if you drive up the road at a certain time of the day, he's got them like tied up to trees, like they would be in a yard. But you don't see their ribs and stuff. They're all fed and stuff like that. And I'm like, can we get this guy a house? Is that possible? Because like, there's like 9 houses in this neighborhood right here that have been for sale the last 3 years I've been in this one. Can we not do something about that? The guy that deserves it.
There's a lot to think about when you drive by. Let's just say a tent encampment. Say it's a collection of 10 tents. just because those 10 people are homeless doesn't mean all 10 are hooked on drugs. Maybe 5 are hooked on drugs. Maybe 2 have a disability. Maybe the other 2 are so fucking burnt out on working their ass to the bone and paying taxes that they said, I want to try a life with debt free. I don't want to have debt. I want to live off the land. And maybe just in their mind, they're just like, I want to try. You know what I mean? Like we assume so much bad because someone's homeless. Now, I think they shouldn't be doing it in public parks, and there's certain areas there's obviously things that go along with that. I don't want to backtrack too much and sound, but you get what I'm saying, you know, like we instantly go to a bad place when it's homeless, but man, what if that person is just like, you know what? I worked for 35 years of my life and it fucking sucked and I'm not happy. I'm tired of paying bills and taxes. I'm going to take this and I'm going to go raise 5 dogs and live in this tent out here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I've never actually thought of those as bad. I feel bad. There's a gas station that I get gas every day. It's on the other side of the freeway. Whenever I leave work, I get gas at the same gas station every week. And there was a homeless guy that was there. So I didn't give him money. I used to have these, I think it was a Premier protein shake. And I used to have those in my car. And I gave him one. I was like, I don't have any money, but I can give you this. And he looked at it and he was like, well, thank you. I got some food today. And it was just like a protein shake. You know what I mean? I've never actually been like, okay, we need to get rid of these people. We need to help them. They need something. You just got to figure out what they need. But we're wasting so much money on, I don't know if you guys want how much you want to get into the flock camera system.
Oh God, yes.
We're sitting there giving money to these companies and corporations to, you know, that doesn't benefit us at all when we could actually be spending it on something to benefit your fellow human. I actually had this idea. I was going to have like a mask on and have like a black hoodie zipped up and stuff like that. And I was going to pop out like, oh, sorry. Just got done doing some maintenance on a camera.
So I've been seeing a lot on these cameras and I have no fucking idea what they are. I've been seeing like people cutting them down, knocking them over, all kinds of crazy shit. Like what the hell are they?
Well, I know over in the UK, they had something similar. They probably still have it. It has to do with the 15-minute city stuff.
I've seen a lot from the UK. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they've been doing it for years now. I don't know if it's Flock or they're probably a sister company or something like that. So what they do is when a car goes by, they take a picture of the back and they get a picture of the license plate and they get a picture of like whatever bumper stickers you have and stuff like that. And then it gets stored in a server for a month and then it gets deleted. And it's there in case the police need to know who was on what street when.
Ah, okay. I can see why people are upset about that. Yeah, go fuck yourself. And
they're popping up everywhere. I mean, even our rural areas, they're popping up like on the corner of this spot and that spot. And I know in like my public Facebook feed when I go there just to take a peek and see what's going on, and I instantly regret it. But the people are talking about flock cameras like hot and heavy.
Yeah, well, it's mass surveillance, and it's nothing nobody voted for. Like, there's a reason you have town hall meetings and stuff like that. There wasn't like a bill; it's just a company put a bid in, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and pay to put these cameras up." Like, where are you getting your money from?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I haven't seen any of those cameras pop up around here. We have just traffic cameras, you know, that catch you running lights and shit.
Which are also illegal.
Yeah. I mean, you can fight them just by fucking showing up in court, thrown out.
Yeah.
Prove it.
But yeah, that's what that's all about. People people don't want to get mass surveilled, and then when you see videos of people following like the executives and stuff for Flock, they're like, "Oh, don't follow me, don't videotape me. What are you doing?" But you seem to be okay with it when you do it to us,
right? It's always okay.
It's for your safety.
It's for somebody else.
It's for your safety.
Yes.
And what's crazy is like independent people can actually make agreements with Flock, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a government local county regulation either. It can be a business. And then so now, is it okay for Lucid to set up a Flock camera on the corner of his property and record, you know, every single person going up and down the road, collecting their tag number, their face, you know, their car?
But that's the thing about it. That's part of living in the United States. There's no expectation of privacy in public.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you can't really fight it.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to fight that, you're fighting against your own rights at that point. Like you see these people that stand outside of businesses just recording whatever, and people absolutely lose their shit about it, you know, calling the cops and shit. Half the time the cops don't even know what the fucking laws are.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you can't, they don't want to be recorded. You can't. Well, actually I can. We're in a public space. So, you know, sorry.
So I guess that's a lot. So if you guys saw your neighbors putting up flock cameras, it sounds like, would you accept that more than if your local government was popping them up on every corner?
I'd probably be more accepting. I wouldn't be happy with it, but that's their property. It's that double-edged sword thing. But they're going to be getting a helicopter show every night.
I mean, I have surveillance cameras in front of my house. I fucking see my neighbors every time they check their mail or whatever, you know. They're not looking in their fucking windows, you know. But I get a notification anytime somebody walks past my yard.
Yeah, I saw.
Do your neighbors know that?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
I think Squirrel Master sent it to me, but it was a video of a man going to his local, like county supervisors, and he said, "Hi, my name's Bill," and he's like, "I just wanted to introduce myself. I just started a new company. We have over 100 satellites, and so the premise of the business is we're going to start tracking all of our local politicians, every movements. You know, we already have from public information, you know, your vehicles and all that. So we just wanted to let you know we're going to be recording everywhere you go with your families, to every restaurant, to every event. You know, when your kids go to soccer practice, we're going to be recording all that, you know, we just want to make sure." And like, he went on this long spiel and they're all looking at him like this. And he was like, "No, this isn't real, but that's what you're doing with flock cameras. How does that make you feel?" You know, and they were all just like,
yeah. Hey, they got paid. They got money in their pockets.
Mm-hmm.
They got promised some kind of deal.
One tick,
as long as they're getting paid, it's okay.
Evidently, if you have a high-powered green laser and you shoot it into the camera of a flock, like into the lens of a flock camera, it'll fry it.
That's any camera.
Yeah. So if you want to get into the drone, little drone and a laser, zap.
Yeah, like lasers fuck cameras up. You got to be careful with lasers. If I'm looking at if you're recording,
I'm looking at my precious Sony and I'm like, it's okay, baby. I would never do that.
You don't want to test it for science?
I'd try.
Do it. Oh, you got your backup. Can you imagine having to go back to that Ozbot from this? Oh man, it's night and day. I thought the Ozbot was good.
I did too. I was like, oh my god, this Ozbot's great.
Yeah.
I actually was gonna talk to Christy about stealing her camera. She's got a nice Sony one sitting right over there on the table, and I was like, I'm gonna stick with the one that I got.
All right.
I noticed yours, Squirrel, though. Your focus is all fucked up.
Ever since I unblurred the background, it's like it loses track of my face.
It keeps going out of focus a lot.
Do you think it's the light?
You might not have enough light on your face. I've noticed, like, if mine's dark, it'll do that.
If your face is dark?
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe you're not, because it's got to be pretty dark to do that. I don't know.
Is that better?
Holy shit, that's bright as fuck.
Yeah, that's way better.
You're blurry as fuck, though. Oh, now you're focused.
You're healed. Now you're healed.
It's the aliens. It's the aliens. You're being abducted.
Turn temp up, see if that helps. I think it's my hat brim. When it loses my eyes and face, it doesn't know where to zoom.
It might be, because since I quit wearing a hat, I've noticed mine doesn't go out of focus at all. So it could be.
Keep my hat.
Could be.
So this World Fair thing.
You want to get into it? So, they quit doing them around World War I, but back in 1851 in London, they had it was like the first like really big World Fair. And if you guys ever look into the Crystal Palace, right, this thing was they built it in 190 days, right? It was 300,000 panes of bent glass, straight glass, and they were all approximately like, I don't know, like 5 square feet each, something like that, maybe bigger.
How many days?
And
did you say?
190 days.
They couldn't even do that now.
Right. So in 190 days, using 300,000 panes of glass, they used apparently 30 glass blowers, and they said in their their best recorded time was in a fortnight, which I had to look it up, was 2 weeks. A fortnight is 2 weeks. They made 63,000 panes of this glass. So I did the math, and that broke down to, this is on their best time, 4,500 pieces of glass a day, right? That was if they worked 24 hours. So they had 3 shifts running
on 30 machines,
on 30 glass blowers. Yeah. So that would be 187 and a half in 1 hour, 3 panes of glass a minute. This is just based on the math. Now you'd have to blow this glass into a cylinder shape. You got to cut it, you got to polish it, you got to trim the edges and stuff. And they didn't build it on site, so then they had to ship it, right? On horse and buggy in 1851. You guys would have to pull up, I don't know if you can pull up pictures of what the Crystal Palace looks like in 1851. They didn't have a whole lot of pictures back then, but they had a lot of like where people had drew it.
You doing it, Squirrel?
They're drawing pictures. And they didn't have automation. They didn't even have indoor plumbing. They shit in outhouses. And in 190 days. Now they've had engineers look at it and they're like, we would not be able to do that today in that amount of time.
It's the scale.
It's beautiful too.
Insane.
Yeah. It's beautiful too. And that was the main attraction of the London's World Fair in 1851 was this Crystal Palace. And then when we got it. Yep. So that back there. Just focusing on the big glass greenhouse looking building, they built that in 190 days when we couldn't do that today.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I said, just based on the math, they made 3 panes every minute. That was if they worked 24 hours with 30 glass blowers, which I'm assuming, because I don't know if you ever watched those glass blowing competitions where it's a person in a tube. I'm assuming they mean like a big machine. They don't mean just like a person out there with a straw.
Right.
Making
What was the time frame?
190 days, 300,000 panes of glass.
There's no way.
You couldn't even get the damn sidewalk done that quick.
Yeah, right. Like the same studies have been done, like on the pyramids, for example. Like we couldn't even build the pyramids today.
No, it would be impossible. And like they've had engineers look at it and be like, that mathematically doesn't make sense. We wouldn't be able to do that today. But like I said, and it's not even like we have, they had the technology we have now. They were on horse and buggy. They didn't have cars. Like we didn't have like actual cars out there. No, they had like scaffolding, essentially. Yeah. So they actually, after that World Fair was over, I think they run it for like 6 months or so. Then they took it apart and they moved it to South London, where it had been patched up with extensively with wood. It's like, well, if we can make glass, why would you patch it up with wood?
Yeah, that's weird.
And so the thought that you're kind of getting to is the thought is that these structures were not built; they were already pre-existing.
Yeah, they were. There's a theory out there that they were discovered, and then we just used them. Like, because if you think about it, you go back to 1850, it's almost 200 years ago. So I don't know how many people that is, because some people, how many generations back that is. You can lose a lot. So if you go back that many generations, because it's about 200, 100 and 170 years from now, and I mean, who knows? You tell a lie enough times, eventually it's the truth.
Right.
Because
my question is, pictures. Why would all this be covered up? You know what I mean? Like, what angle is there to cover it up?
Oh, we're not there yet. That's Chicago. That's the one I did the most research on. That one is, it leads you down other rabbit holes, all the stuff that's there. So,
look at that picture. There is no.
So that is Chicago in 1893. That was I forget what it was called. The World's Columbian Expedition. It was to celebrate 400 years since Columbus landed in North America.
Yep. And
it took them 2 years, and they built this like 200 buildings, and they were all pretty similar to that with their sculptures and their craftsmanship and stuff like that, but they made it all out of this stuff called staff, which is very similar to plaster, and it was all meant to be temporary just for this fair. but it spanned 690 acres that started as a swamp. And they did it in 2 years, and it was just meant to be temporary.
That explains all the water.
The fountains, the waters, there's a Viking shit. Like, I could probably share hundreds of photos. This is just one small area of the acres and acres and acres of buildings they built in less than 2 years. Ain't no fucking way, man. There's no fucking way.
We don't build buildings like that now. We don't have that craftsmanship now. And so essentially that staff it's a lot like plaster, right? So as soon as you get it wet, it pretty much disintegrates. So you got to remember, this is Chicago, and it took them 2 years. Well, Chicago has really harsh winters. So for a good chunk of each of those 2 years, they weren't able to do much. Because you ever try to mix plaster in the wintertime in the north?
That's true. You say 2 years, you really don't have 2 years. You lose all those winter months.
Not in Chicago.
Yeah, you're losing those winter months.
Absolutely. You're losing at least 4 months.
Yeah.
Each year.
Easy.
So they built all that. It took them 2 years. Now, just for, and you saw, if you showed some other pictures, you would see the craftsmanship and all the different stuff that was there. We're not doing that stuff now. Now we just have these square buildings. So for some recent perspective, the Obama Presidential Center took 5 years to build. You guys ever looked at what that thing looks like?
Not like that.
It's a fucking concrete turd. It looks like something from the Maze Runner. Just this concrete, post-apocalyptic turd of a building. Took them 5 years.
I believe, like Seattle Center, the Space Needle was built for the World Fair as well, and it looks nothing even similar to these.
Look at this.
It's very futuristic looking compared to these. That's insane.
Just sit there and look at that picture.
Just to get the water pumped into that area, because there was
this is
videos
Chicago
that I watched.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's still Chicago.
If you told me that was Italy or something like that, I would believe you.
Yeah, it's all this. Let's see, I wrote it. What that was? It was neoclassical. It was neoclassical, right? Yeah, all that is made out of plaster, apparently.
All that.
But then it lasts for 3 years, and then it gets burned down in a fire.
Well,
most of those buildings
these are
were lost to fire.
Yeah,
being plaster, I guess, would, like, especially the sculptures and shit, being plaster would make more sense why it could be constructed so quick.
It could be until you get to a certain size, because then it's not. I mean, there's multi-story buildings there that are made out of this staff, and like, all
I'm saying is
temporary, just to show off American greatness.
Does that look like plaster?
No.
I mean, that's part of it. This is part of the fair. I mean, they had different sections that were like different countries. I mean,
and again, this is 1893, so this is what, like 40 years after the World Fair in London, that Crystal Palace, and it's still, you'll see these immaculate buildings, and then fucking horse and buggies. This is the late 1800s. We're almost in a 1900. We didn't have cars. That right there is my favorite part of the fair. It's that it's the Statue of the Republic, I believe is what it's called. I mean, that's the original one.
Yeah, you tell me that's Italy and I believe you. You know what I mean?
That's the original one. That thing is 65 feet tall. Made out of plaster, apparently. Made out of plaster.
Wow.
It survived 3 great fires in Chicago before it was ordered to be destroyed by fire by some park commissioners. And then, like, let's see, how many years later?
You're telling me they basically built Disney World in less than 2 years?
Oh, that's way bigger than Disney World.
In 1893.
Yeah. They built it in 2 years. But they took that 65-foot statue, and then the park commissioners ordered it destroyed by fire. And then, I don't know, you ever tried to burn plaster, by the way?
No.
Yeah, it's not really a burnable thing. That's why we make houses out of drywall. But it was destroyed by a fire, and then like 20 years later, or maybe a little bit less, they built a 1/3 scale of the exact same thing, and they put it in Jackson Park, Chicago. It's still there right now. And that's what the people lived in. Go back up a picture. Yeah. So
that's
that
where
is
they,
where
that's
people
where they live.
were
Yeah.
living, but we're building these immaculate mansions and buildings like that while they're throwing shit out their window onto the street.
I think something worthwhile that I found very interesting was Nikola Tesla was part of
Yep.
this World's Fair 1893, and so there's a
It
lot.
was. That was when Tesla and Westinghouse, they showcased their we have now is AC current. It powered. Now this was 40 years after the Crystal Palace, right? It powered 200,000 lamps to show how effective this new alternating current was.
They built a
So
temporary power
electricity
plant
is a new thing at this time. And you're telling me they built all that in 2 years on swampland?
Yeah, there was stories that people.
It's possible, right?
Well,
yeah,
people
totally.
in Chicago, you may see one street lamp here, and then maybe there'll be another one hundreds of meters away.
And
when you
back
walked
then,
into
they
the
were all
World's
oil
Fair,
lamps.
When you walked into the World's Fair, it was lit up like fucking Christmas. There was light bulbs everywhere. I mean, this is kind of shows how much lighting there was. They said people literally walked in and were brought to tears that there was just so bright and so much electricity.
It was also bright because they called it the White City because everything was painted white. So if you try to find pictures of those buildings like while they're being built, all you can find is buildings and it has like some rickety wood scaffolding around it. And when you actually find a picture that has a person on the scaffolding, if you zoom in, they just have like a paint bucket and a paintbrush. But the scaffolding doesn't go all the way up to the top of the building, right? And it's the scaffolding is just a bunch of 2x4s put together.
They said that place, so multiple like electrical engineers have done the math calculation that it would have required to supply enough energy to the World's Fair. And they said at that time, they don't see how it's feasibly possible it could even have occurred.
Not with the technology that we have available to us right now.
Yeah. And there's
definitely
pictures.
Not back then.
There's pictures of the power plant that they say was temporarily constructed by Tesla to do it. And they said it still doesn't make sense. So there's like all this mystery
gaps
around. There's thoughts that Tesla discovered a way to provide free electric wirelessly back then. And that technology was stolen by the government when he died, when he was,
mysteriously.
And they think that was on display there. And like that's part of the mystery of the World's Fair is they think that's what was on display was wireless free power.
And that's the thing, not just free energy, but wireless free energy. So there was this one guy that I saw on TikTok for a while. He looked like he should have been in like the early 1900s. The way he dresses, he buys like old Model Ts and stuff like that. And he actually sent electricity from one state. I forget what state he was in, but he sent electricity wirelessly from one state to another state. The guy was able to pick it up with using Tesla type.
Should I be happy if I could just sit here and charge my phone like this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, shit.
And the best we can do is we can take our phone and
state,
set it on a pad,
right?
And it charges it.
Yeah.
No city in the world had that much electric, but this World's Fair had.
And what they did is they called those prototypes, and then the plans were lost into a fire, and the prototypes were destroyed.
Everything was destroyed.
Well, even when you have prototypes, if they show promise, they're usually improved down and they end up getting used. It's still documented. It's still in a patent office somewhere. But now the plans were lost to a fire.
They were all destroyed.
And then the prototypes were destroyed. And just all that water, because there was a lot of water, right? It was water themed because of Columbus. The water pumps that they had to pump all that water in, those millions of gallons of water, it was different than what we use nowadays. And it was more efficient. But the same thing where the plans were lost in a fire, the blueprints were lost in a fire, and then they destroyed the pumps that did it.
Yeah, I truly think that Tesla was probably one of the brightest minds up there with Einstein. And I think there's things that he discovered that we'll never know about. Or maybe we do know now and it's being slowly released. But free energy will never be something
No.
allowed to get out.
Free energy is just like the cure to cancer. It's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much money in it.
Insane though. Yeah,
the planet could be ready to implode with chemicals or whatever from burning fossil fuels or anything like that, and they're still not going to release it because they're still lining their pockets.
Right. Because that's probably one of the biggest constraints that we have is everybody relies on electricity. And if there's electricity is free, if you find out you can get free electricity, there goes a lot of their power, because it's not necessarily just about money. It's about the power they wield over people. So when people think of like population control, it's not just the number of people that there are. It's also like what the population does, making them do what you want them to
do. All right. If electric was free, would you guys get a Tesla?
I don't mind Teslas. I still think the Cybertruck is fucking ugly.
Yeah, Cybertrucks are hideous.
Yeah. But no, as far as the cars, I've ridden in Teslas before. I thought it was and it was a it was something S, Model S maybe. I don't know. It was like 5 years ago. It was like when they were first coming out.
I've been in a Tesla one time. And it was nice. An Uber in Vegas, and it was fucking amazing. Honestly.
Yeah. No. The one I was in was super nice. It threw me back in the seat, just like everything you read. They're torquey. They're really torquey.
I told the driver that I'd never been in one before, so he had to show off for me, and it was pretty cool. Yeah. He had all the bells and whistles like Squirrels does, And I was pretty impressed with it, honestly.
My brother-in-law got the regular Model 3, not the Performance. It's just a single motor, rear wheel drive. He's like, he's in it. He's like, watch this, and he guns it, and it's just like,
man.
He's like, it's fast, right? And I'm like, son, you ain't got no idea.
Has he been in yours?
No.
You gotta get that. You gotta get that dual motor.
Let me take you for a ride and show you what
think this is fast. I'm about to melt your mind.
So there was also some stuff that I wasn't able to send, videos that led me down other rabbit holes. But like they found like hundreds of pyramids over in China too, like Egyptian style pyramids over in China, and they got like growth on the sides. And if you're just there, it looks like a hill. But if you take like an aerial view, there's pyramids in China.
There's pyramids in Antarctica.
There's pyramids everywhere. Because there's a video that I saw, and it said the pyramids weren't there because they've found 0 tombs, 0 remains inside of any of the pyramids. That's not but that's what we're taught in school. That's what they are. They're like really big mausoleums, right? That's where they have the mummies and stuff like that. But they've literally found 0 remains or anything in any of them. So the way that was described, it was an energy source, like what the walls were made out of, with the limestone and stuff like that. It's a free energy source.
And the capstones that have been stolen were gold, which is the most conductive material on the planet.
Mm-hmm. But whenever you think of a pyramid, you think, oh, Egyptian mummy, when it's literally none have been found inside of a pyramid.
And I guess that would be my biggest question.
I think they're power plants.
Right.
Gary, with the fair thing, I kept going to a place of there's no way these buildings existed prior to the fair, because somebody would have wrote about it. There would be books or pictures, or you know what I mean? But then I guess I'll stop there and just say that's if I'm a naysayer.
Yeah.
Like how would you respond to that?
Well, how many people do you think were able to read and write back then? They were too busy on the farm, right? They didn't have pictures. I'm not saying aliens put them there. I'm just saying their math doesn't add up.
Well,
and so if we're going to talk about aliens
have been created, there's buildings
absolutely
in Europe
we
that
can't
were
do it
in the
now
1400s.
With the advancements that we have in our construction and stuff. We don't do that now.
Right.
You're not going to find a beautiful building now. But there's also like the Taj Mahal, right? It's even older than the Crystal Palace. It's massive. It's beautiful. How did they do it?
Well, look how long it takes them to build a new football stadium, for example, right?
Right.
It takes them years, but a
lot of that's red tape,
well,
but still, with us having the equipment and the stuff that we have now, we still can't do it that fast.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so there was actually, you go through and there's a bunch of pictures where you'll see like the newer buildings that we have now. Like if you think of like an apartment complex, it's blocky, rectangular, and then in the middle, there'll be like this really nice building with like a gold dome on it. Very similar to what they had at the Chicago Fair, just in the middle of like these buildings, or like a lot of the old churches in New York and stuff like that. They're big, beautiful, mansion style buildings, and then it's just surrounded by these blocky buildings that we build now.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how are we able to do that, but we didn't have indoor plumbing.
Right.
So who built these buildings?
Well, the thought is that there's like an older world, an older civilization that did it, and for whatever means they're not here anymore. Whether they ascended enough to leave the planet, or maybe they went, inside the planet. Who knows? Went to another dimension. I'm not old enough to know, but it's
Squrl,
clear.
can you tell us?
Like I said, I wish I could go back in time and figure out.
Nah, Squrl, he's old enough.
That's an old joke. So when people think of aliens, they usually think of like outer space and stuff like that, like the gray or the green men from Mars and stuff like that. But when I think of aliens, alien just means foreign. Like aliens, they're just foreign to like this planet or maybe this plane, this dimension. So who's to say? You guys ever read the Book of Enoch?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So those were angels that fell, fell from heaven, and they came down, and they corrupted humans, but they would be alien. They would be foreign to this plane,
right.
to this level.
I learned something new the other day about like fallen angels and angels in general. And it was this Catholic priest from out Midwest, and he was on the Sean Ryan show. And Sean Ryan does a great job like with guests. And so this is a very well respected priest, but he was talking about like the different tiers of angels, like the way the system's worked out, and each tier is like a different, like they're not people, like most people think of angels and you think of, the person with the wings on their back, but these angels are like different, let's say breeds, different creatures. Like every tier of angel was a different type of creature. Like they're completely different species. That's the right word. They're a different species. And I was like, what? I was like,
the lizard people.
I don't know shit about shit. I was like, I never knew this.
Yeah. There was different types. Ones that had like different abilities, essentially, like about like Nephilim, giants, things like that. So like they couldn't actually do anything to corrupt humans, right? They were, whatever reason, they weren't able to do that, but their offspring could. So they bred with like the human women, the people that were down here, and then they made creatures like Nephilim, mermaids, they're called sirens in the Bible. And they were able to do that without it falling back on the fallen angels, because it didn't go against whatever decree they had, or I'm not sure what it was. But yeah, no, if you ever, and all that is, written thousands and thousands of years ago, the things that we have movies about nowadays. You can't see it, but I got the Book of Enoch sitting right behind me under that mustache on the table.
Nice. I haven't read it, which that's probably what I need to do, is actually read it.
Yeah.
Book form.
You're gonna have to read it more than once, because it's written in a way that we don't read anymore.
Yeah.
It's written. We're a lot dumber now as a society as the scholars back then. You got to read it more than once to fully understand what a sentence is saying. It's kind of a difficult read. Just like, I don't know how much of the Bible you've read. It's not like, oh, you can just pick it up and start reading it like it's what's the Harry Potter book, which those are also not easy reads either.
I still have this picture pulled up. I'm gonna do it one more time. I just cannot get over this
How
picture.
gorgeous that white city was.
I cannot get over it. Like I just keep looking over at it and just thinking there's
So-
no freaking way.
Yeah, it's
that
crazy.
There's actually people in that picture, right? So using let's say a 6-foot person to scale, that's how big those buildings were. And the official story is, no, I'm talking like even the people all the way on the backside, like on that
back
bridge.
here.
Those are all
here.
people. So to scale, that thing is 3 stories.
And it's
And
temporary.
for it to be made out of for it to be made out of plaster, it wouldn't be able to support that weight.
It's not. Yeah, you couldn't. So plaster's not going to support the weight up top. And
No,
so,
and that's not my opinion. Engineers have said, that doesn't make sense. It would have to.
There's pictures that they
It's got to be
say
stone.
there are no credible pictures found where these are being constructed, but they're like still skeleton form. All the pictures that show them constructed, the buildings are erected. Don't even make fun of me for saying the word. That's the proper way to use erected. The buildings are erected, and there's scaffolding on the
Squirrels
outside
erected
of it.
right now.
God damn it! And everybody is painting, and so that just leads more into the theory that these buildings were here, and we threw a fresh coat of paint on them and cleaned them up.
Yeah, they were just refinishing them. They were just refurbishing them.
That looks a lot different than my state fair. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, let's not even talk about my county fair.
And this was people that didn't even have the automobile.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like you said, dumping shit out their windows onto the street.
Yeah.
And this was right after the Chicago fires. So Chicago was in pretty dire straits, and like the economy was tanked, and like where do you get the people and the manpower and the supplies? And
it was funded by like 3 people. And it didn't. No sense. I don't believe it made enough money to pay for itself. So somebody just paid for it. So the running theory out there is it was just used as a demolition project. So they show it up. All right, it was temporary. We got to tear it down now. And then they go through and they start knocking these buildings down. And it's like when you find them being busted down, they're made out of brick and block. Because they've done the same thing in these really couple-year-old buildings in New York. And there was a story of one where they took 2 wrecking balls to it, and it took them like weeks to knock this really old building down. And it's like, we can't build buildings like that now. This thing's been standing for hundreds of years.
And so, like, I didn't write down, but there's like every World's Fair, like all 5 or 6 of them, all of them had these huge fires where they destroyed everything, and they usually saved one building.
Yeah, they saved a couple.
And those are still being used.
How could that be?
And those ones happen to be made out of brick now, or they were destroyed, and then they rebuilt a replica of it out of block.
God, it's just so bullshit. So bullshit.
The story is just it doesn't make sense.
None of it makes sense.
Nothing about it makes sense.
No. But there's also, once you go down that rabbit hole, you guys see any videos about the orphans in the trains back then during the World Fair, like insane asylums and stuff like that? So they believe, or there's some people out there that they believe it was used as like a re-civilization of the country, right? So when we did like the Louisiana Purchase and stuff like that, all of a sudden there was an increase of these orphanages, but also an increase of insane asylums into these big immaculate buildings back in the late 1800s, where one of the reasons they would say that women were crazy was due to childbirth. Childbirth made them crazy, so they would separate the child from the mom and the dad. Mom and the dad would end up in an insane asylum, then the kids would end up in an orphanage till they were old enough, and then they were transported by train to other cities, and then slowly that would repopulate those cities. So the way our education system works now is, I forget the guy's name, but there was a Russian that came over in the 80s, and he described how the Russians would attack. And first they would demoralize the country, demoralize the people. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So if you go back and you start teaching new stuff, eventually now it's the old. You know what I mean?
Right.
If they start teaching in a new way, now this, after a generation or so, it becomes the new way to teach. So like the way my kids do math now, the way I was taught math in the 90s, how to do like division and stuff like that, is way different than they're taught nowadays.
My you don't like Common Core?
No, it doesn't make there's easier ways to do it. Yeah. And I was helping my oldest do some math problems because math wasn't a strong suit for her, but I've always been really good with math. And one of the homework assignments was to come up with an approximate answer for this. Like, I think it was just adding 2 4-digit numbers together. And I'm like, well, I can give you the exact answer. And they're like, no, they want the approximate. And I'm like, well, let me show you how I was taught to do it. So I showed her. She put that answer down, which was the exact answer to the fucking problem. They marked it wrong because they were looking for the correct approximate answer. I'm like, what are we doing here?
That seems ass backwards of what math should be.
Yeah.
Math is very set in stone, not approximate.
Pretty much. You unless you ask Terrence Howard. But that man makes a lot of sense, though. If you actually sit and listen to him, the man makes a lot of sense.
What was this thing that?
So 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
Right. And 2 × 2 is 4. Well, 2 + 2 is also 4. So 1 × 1 should be 2. But he goes into like the series of like division and subtraction and stuff like that. And you got different answer. It was, I can't do it justice. I'm not nearly as smart as he is.
Yeah.
But when he explained it, it made sense because you should get the same answer every time.
So he basically said all the fundamentals of physics were broken all the way back to like Einstein because physics.
Well, Einstein stole all his stuff, so
yeah, every formula is broken because of our math system's broken because of the
principles.
Yeah, the principles.
Because the principles aren't accurate.
And maybe he's right. I mean, maybe we haven't cracked how to fucking time travel and go through warp holes and fucking all that because our fucking math system's broke.
Maybe that other civilization did, and they're like, all right, we're done with this planet.
We're supposed to get it just close enough, you know, being precise. That's where we're fucked up. You got to just get it close in order to time travel.
I never really knew until recently. I mean, like we all knew E = MC² and all that bullshit, right? But like how important math is to like astrophysics and like how the world works. Like everything comes to a formula or a number, and like the universe and the speed of light, and like the more you dig into it, it makes you question like, why is the language of our universe numbers? Yeah, like why how did we arrive at that? Did I lose you guys? Does that make sense?
Probably by divine creation. It was designed that way. That'd be my opinion.
Simulation.
Actually, it is a simulation. This is just like a test run for the next realm. This is just your mortal coil.
So the next civilization is gonna reface our buildings and use them in the World Fair.
I swear to God, if they look at our buildings and think that they're fancy.
I don't even know what y'all's houses look like, but I can assure you if it's anything close to my house or any of my neighbors, it's a rectangle. Nobody's going to look at our homes and be like, look at this beautiful structure.
Wow, look at this palace. Yeah.
It's a rectangle. I mean, just look at like a plantation house in 1851 was that Crystal Palace, right? That was before the Civil War. Right. So if you look at those plantation houses, they got the pillars in the front porch. Like they're beautiful houses. My house is built in 1970 and it's a fucking rectangle.
Yeah.
Made out of brick.
Mine's 80s.
Mine's 76.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's 1980s. And it doesn't even have to be a mansion, like, plantation house.
No.
It could just be a classic country house that was built in the 40s. And you look at it with this big front porch and, it's just, there's a certain pretty, it's pretty. Like, I ain't looking. My house ain't pretty.
Right.
I keep it clean. I
Yeah,
mow the yard.
Yeah, I mow the yard. Pull the weeds sometimes. Yeah.
Right.
Pyramids. We accept that the pyramids were there.
There's also like in France, they have the Eiffel Tower, right? I don't even know how tall that thing is. That thing's hundreds of feet tall. And it was meant to be temporary, but then they found out it makes a good antenna.
Yeah.
So now we still have it. Because if you start going down like the rabbit holes of like the old world and stuff like that, there's a lot of travel by blimp, right? So you'll see a lot of these older buildings, they all have like an antenna style thing on the top, and there you can find some picture, whether they're actual pictures or drawings, where these blimps are actually docking at very like steampunk style. These blimps or zeppelins are docking at the top of these buildings, like was it the Space Needle, right? Buildings like that, they go there and they dock there, and that's where they're recharging with the free energy.
That was one other thing from that 1893 World's Fair, is that's where the world's first Ferris wheel was unveiled. And that thing was fucking massive. You could have
260.
You could have 2,000 passengers.
Yeah.
They never tested it. They never tested it with bodies on it. The very first time it ran at full capacity with over 2,000 people on it.
Yeah.
And it ran flawlessly. They called it
every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time they ran it, it ran.
They never had to make an adjustment or anything. Like,
maybe they were just
the last time you've been to an amusement
smarter
park?
Back then.
Well, actually, I do think they were.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the Department of Education.
I mean, they said not one adjustment had to be made. Like it just did its job perfectly.
Not one bolt needed to get tightened. Not one rivet needed to get reshot. It just, they turned it on and it was working fine.
Damn.
And it ran on electric. That's another
thing.
They
say they don't make shit like they used to. You know what I mean?
No.
That 2,000 people on a Ferris wheel? That sounds nuts. Like,
and they ran it for what? Like the World Fair was what? Like 6 months long?
That's a lot of goddamn people.
On a Ferris wheel.
That's just a lot of people in general. Yeah. And then you put them on a fucking Ferris wheel? That's a big ass Ferris wheel.
So they had like anywhere, I forget, I think it was like 27 different countries came to the Chicago World Fair. And they had these displays of like indigenous people of other countries. It was kind of weird when you watched it. So they had like, this is like the African, like actual Africa people with like the huts and stuff like that. And there were people dressed up as that. And then like Indonesian, and it was supposed to be like, this is the old world. Now this is the new world with the electricity and stuff like that. So it was like, it's like a thing where they have to show you or tell you what they're doing as they're doing it. Because it makes them more powerful when they do it. It was supposed to be like a handoff from the older world to the new world.
See, it doesn't look that big there.
How the fuck did they make that in 1893?
Yeah, right.
1893, no cranes.
Without a crane.
No cranes.
Like how they, you know, how'd they build the first crane without a crane? That's what I want to know. Yeah, that's crazy. No cranes. Just I think
to date, is it still the largest Ferris wheel to be
ever been made? It is. Yep. Yeah, that's like 2,000. I mean, that's
so that Statue of the Republic. At that time, that was the largest statue to ever be made, and then it was destroyed by a fire after it survived 3 different fires in Chicago. It was ordered destroyed by the park commissioners, and then they built one 1/3 scale. So instead of it being 65 feet, it was like 24 feet. Probably because that's as big as we could build it.
Yeah. It's nuts. And what was the thing with the Egyptian?
Oh, the buildings in Chicago? So they're I don't know. I don't remember which building it was, but like you can find these buildings when you go in the city. They'll be like, the rectangular buildings with the windows and stuff, and then all of a sudden there'll be like this old, really, really nicely crafted building with like gargoyles and shit on there, and you're like, well, that's out of place. What's that doing there? Well, there's one building where it actually has like Egyptian carvings around the sides. And when you go down to the break room, there's a set of doors you open up, and like it leads you into this underground tunnel system It's under Chicago, and any major city, like it has a tunnel system under it where like it has railroad track, not railroad tracks, but like tracks for like carts and stuff like that. It'd be like a smaller railroad, kind of like what they call it, the tram, or like the subway that they have in like New York and stuff like that. But all of it is from the, late
It was actually
1800s.
from Egypt. Like, it was legit. Like,
Yeah,
this wasn't created. It said they brought it over.
Which the weight of that doesn't make sense. Just the sheer weight alone.
How the fuck do you bring Egyptian?
Yeah, a couple ton stone on a horse and buggy
across the sea and put it underground and what?
Yeah, right. None of it makes sense.
It's just so much wild stuff, guys. And if you're just getting here late, we're talking about the World's Fair, 1893, a topic that was never even on my radar. And Gary, brought it to Lucid.
Gary enlightened
topic. You. And like, I'm mind blown. Like, none of it makes sense. Like, none of it makes sense.
And it doesn't, if you want to go down the rabbit hole, you can. Or I'm just, like I said, I'm just the facts speaks for themselves. It just the timeline doesn't make. At the very least, they're lying. I don't know why they are. I'm not going to assume why they are. But there's other people that have theories. Like I said, there's hundreds of pyramids over in China that don't make sense with the rest of the architecture that they have around there.
So like it just doesn't. What's your theory about why the hell they're covering up how these buildings were actually made?
I think probably an older civilization, and I don't know why they're not here. Maybe they are still here. Maybe they died off or something happened. And
but why the cover left
up? I don't really know. I don't know why some people do the stuff that they do, other than if a person that is too curious and they crave information is usually a dangerous person, which is why your government wants to keep you stupid. That's why they put fluoride in your tap water, why every box food that you can buy off the shelf has chemicals in it to make you stupid. Right. They tell you raw milk is bad for you and you shouldn't get fresh eggs from your local chicken farmer.
I think whatever knowledge is contained, it would, if we had the knowledge of some of what existed in previous civilizations, it would completely change the world in a way that governments are scared.
Well, they would lose control because, like, if you didn't have to depend on the government for anything, you don't have to do what they say, which you don't have to do what they say anyway. If enough of us realize that, a couple hundred politicians is nothing against 340 million people, or the however many people that are on the Epstein files list, print out that list. It'll take care of itself. And yeah, it's just they want. That's why everything's in plastic now. Because I remember it used to be at like a bottled soda in glass bottles. Now even your aluminum cans have a plastic lining on the inside, because then you got your microplastics inside of you. Every time you breathe, you're breathing in a small amount of plastic every day.
Could it be something as simple as clout? Like, look what we built.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It could be that. Like, they found it, now they're claiming it.
Right.
It's just like the archaeologists, they're so dead set on saying the pyramids are, 3,000 years old and that's it. They won't budge. And they're like stuck because they're arrogant.
And then if somebody comes along with different information, they're shunned by the community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, oh, that's alternative information. You can't use that.
Yeah, you're full of shit.
It's actual facts. You may not like them. It goes against what you guys think, but that's the thing about the truth. If you get new information, like, oh, okay, well, then you have to take that into account. Just like science, what they say, believe the science. Well, science changes. You know what I mean? If you add something, if you subtract something, when you get more information, that you got to change.
Believe the science. Claim the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Yeah, I plead the fifth.
What color's your carpet?
I don't have a.
I plead the fifth.
I don't have carpet.
Cheese slap.
I'm good. How you doing?
So many mysteries.
Yeah.
There is. There is. And like once you go down one rabbit hole, there's a whole other one. Like there's the orphan and the trains, and that could be some people wanted to repopulate the country and with the information that they wanted the people to know. Just like the same, like 2 companies own all the school books across the whole country. It's like 2 companies.
Yeah. Right.
And
depends like, what we put in them, who gives us the most money.
Yeah.
You know, so the highest bidder gets
it's not even contents. That. It's the information that's in there. But my daughter, I was helping her with history. It was my middle daughter. I was helping her with her history homework. She was trying to prepare for a test. And his history book was probably a good 1.5 inches thick, you know, hardcover, 1.5 inches thick. And I was flipping through it and I found the section about the Civil War. Now, I don't know if you guys know much about the Civil War, but I know in this book, it was 1 page about the Civil War. And half of that page was a portrait of a battle. And the rest of it, they covered in the other half of the page. And I'm like, that is not nearly enough information to cover how Lincoln suspended habeas corpus and all his diaries and what side France and Britain backed and all this stuff like that. And I'm like, you didn't learn anything.
Well, it wasn't PG enough for today. You know what I mean?
No, who even knows?
And that's how, like, so that's another thing where how easily history can be manipulated in such a short amount of time. And you could practically, if you start to rewrite history today and put that in every school book and watch the internet and push your whatever you're trying to change out, in 30 years' time, that's going to be the new truth, regardless of what the actual history was.
Well, when they make it illegal or very difficult for you to homeschool your children, you know, your kids have to go to school. Otherwise, you know, you're going to get charged with truancy. Like for what? Like you didn't send your kids to school. Like, why do I got to send my kids to school? So every time they come home from school, I ask them what they learned. And then I'm like, well, that's true. That's missing some context, this and that. Because I know more now than when I was in school. So the different things that you learn through actually reading rather than like, okay, read this chapter. Well, if you go actually read some books and read some other stuff, you get some more information. I'm like, well, what I learned doesn't really make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, depends on how far down the rabbit hole you go or what you want to believe. But not really much surprises me anymore nowadays.
No, that's 100% factual there.
Yeah.
Lucid, how much do you know about like Israel and Israel's influence over our government?
I know there's a lot of influence there. Why is it there? I have no idea. You know, I don't watch much news or anything else.
Well, this is the area that Gary, it probably was the first thing he ever blew my mind on, was that like sending me, he started to educate me, and I actually was like hungry for knowledge. I remember there was at some point we were in a Discord call, and I was like asking questions. I was like, what?
I don't even know what specifically we were talking about then. But AIPAC, which is an Israel like funded based PAC that they pay all the politicians. They pay politicians on both sides, right? So they seem to have a lot of control over our politicians on both sides. They're not singling either side out. Like there's not sides anywhere. There's politicians and there's not politicians. Those are the two sides. It's us and them. It's not us versus us. But yeah, they definitely have a lot more influence than they should. So I remember, actually, I think I do know what we were talking about. It was before we started going to war with Iran, right? It was leaked out that Netanyahu had contacted Trump and told him, if you don't bomb Iran, then we're going to nuke Iran. Which neither of those are good, but I guess the better option was for us to send some not as lethal bombs rather than nukes. And I was like, well, now I got 2 problems now, because one of them was Israel has never admitted to having nukes. Like it's never been put down. Everybody knows that they have nukes, but it was never admitted. They're also not part of the nuclear treaty where they get inspected by all the I forget what they're called, but there's a committee that goes out there. They inspect all these nuclear sites that all these world powers have to make sure all these nukes are being stored safely. Israel's not part of that. The other problem I had was that a world leader went up to my president and said, if you don't do this, I'm going to do this. And then our president bent over and did it. So a different world leader told mine what to do, and then he did it. So just with that little leak alone, that gave me 2 problems that I didn't have before that.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
But
everybody
it goes
knew
back
that
years. It goes back to like
it goes back decades.
JFK. I mean, JFK's assassination. There's thoughts that there was.
Ooh, I can send you a good one on that one. It's like 3 hours long though. Send you a good one on that one. With somebody that did a full investigation on it.
Goddamn.
I think it's like 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Goddamn.
But it's not just about JFK. It goes as I think it's called like JFK to 9/11. And it's not all about Israel, but like there was multiple plots against JFK. And then because he was shot multiple times. And then they kind of break down who they believe was the actual kill shot. It wasn't a guy on a grassy knoll. And it wasn't whatever the guy's name that was in the building. I forget his name.
Is it still pretty commonly thought that Epstein was like an
Mossad? Yeah, he was Mossad. He was working for Mossad the same way he was working with the CIA.
So I almost wonder what information Mossad got from Epstein and what kind of leverage they can use with that information.
I mean,
there's so much. There's so many things at play there. Their little chess piece games that.
Yeah, so it's all bad. So what it goes from like being coerced into having intercourse with a minor, and then you end up eating beef jerky, which ends up being human flesh because you want to. You know, it's a pretty large spectrum, but they start somewhere. And it's once they get a little bit of blackmailing you on this, and they're like, well, if you don't do this, we're going to release these other things that we have on you. And then they do that, then they bring in something worse. Like, well, if you don't do that, now we have all these now. And it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper.
God. And that's an old game. That's a game that's probably been played.
Oh, it starts with you ever hear honeypotting? Honeypotting is when they send like an attractive female to get information from a guy, and you know she'll act like she's attracted to him, she's into him, and then he lowers his guard and he gives information. Except they use kids.
I bet you this practice has gone on since the ancient Roman times. You know, like whatever the first government was considered Greece, right?
Yeah, First Republic, yeah.
I'm sure,
or democracy maybe.
Yeah,
Republic, democracy. Because people get confused about a democracy and a republic.
True. Craziness.
That shit's wild.
Who's got the top-notch dad bod out of the 3? Vote.
The Twitch tag. What's the Twitch? Lucid?
What's the Twitch tag?
I have no idea.
Oh, God. Whenever he went live last time on Twitch.
I don't know.
Let me see.
I think I changed the description.
English dad bods, bot, Delta Force, COD, party, Fortnite, Ghost, survival.
None of that is accurate.
Yeah, at least
dad bods.
At least I put us in the fucking podcast category. I mean, what do you fucking want?
At least
he's new to this.
I'm going on 3 hours of sleep, man, trying to fucking do all this bullshit.
The last 2 times we went live on YouTube, it said Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, I was gonna say something last week about it saying Happy Father's Day. I'm like, that was a while ago. I thought it was a joke.
Between the fireworks stand and Lucid's work schedule recently, he's burning it.
Yeah, fireworks into fucking work, into TikTok shop, all this shit. Oh my God.
Yeah, I did see that last week where it said Happy Father's Day. I was like, oh, okay. I just thought it was a troll.
Every day should be Father's Day.
What was funny was somebody was like, "Is it Father's Day?" And I'm like, "Oh my God!" They're like, "I don't know. My dad said
maybe." It might be.
Or like they
My
did.
dad's actually behind. My dad's actually behind me.
Jar Dad.
Yeah. Keep my Jar Dad close. Keep that thing on me.
Oh fuck!
I had to ask one day because I kept hearing Jar Dad. Andrew say it. Gary was. I was like, "What the fuck's a Jar Dad?" And then they told me, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm sorry."
Yeah,
like, no, like. So your dad's in a jar.
Yeah. And
that looks like the one the Undertaker carried around. That's how he put him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Lucy's like, what the fuck? Victory Royale.
Fucking Fortnite, man. Fuck,
he's
you
been,
guys in
he's been
fucking Fortnite.
He's been
Why
giving me the
Fortnite,
silent
Gary?
treatment for years.
Why Fortnite, Gary? Why?
Fucking Fortnite. I hate
Why
it.
Fortnite? I played COD too occasionally. I don't know. Fortnite. Okay, so I can tell you what I like. If you want to get a little less serious than the beef jerky and aliens, I like Fortnite over COD because it doesn't matter what gun you pick up or what gun I pick up. It's even playing field no matter what, right? This gray gun is going to be this much damage in my hands, same as yours, right? In Call of Duty, you can play enough and build yourself a loadout, and then when you jump onto the map, you gather that money, then you can buy your loadout. So that's an advantage that you don't have in Fortnite. The only thing in Fortnite is going to be if you're console or PC, right? Those are going to be your different advantages. So I believe it's. I tell you what, though, once they put shockwaves in Call of Duty, I'm over there. We got grapplers now.
They did. I feel like they tried to get more movement in Call of Duty this last go with the wall jumping and.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm looking forward to MW4. It's gonna get back to normal shit, not space zombie fucking stupid shit.
And technology.
Yeah, I'm over. Like the campaign, this last campaign was ridiculous. I play all the campaigns. I love the campaigns. This last one was a little over the top for me. But the new one's not going to be co-op, which is a bummer. Yeah.
You see, that was when gaming started to go downhill, when you could co-op on the same console, right? When you could do multiplayer on the same console. There's very few games nowadays where you don't have to have a whole nother console in order to play a multiplayer game.
Right. And like this one, they didn't put into there's no co-op as far as campaign goes. Which is sad because I always enjoyed playing co-op campaigns.
I just have this thirst for something new, and no one's nailing it. Like played Funnel Runners, the tornado game. It's a good distraction. It's a good game. I have a feeling it was pretty low budget, very well made. It was something different.
I might play out this weekend.
Let me know. Well, I'm camping. I could do Sunday, but yeah.
I've been wanting to download it just to try it.
What's Funnel Runners about?
You can load in.
What type of game is it?
I guess it's under the title of horror, but it's no jump scares. So here's the premise. It's you and 1 to 8 players. So you could do solo or up to 8 friends. You are in this town that's maybe 5 blocks by 5 blocks. You're in a storm chaser van. Your van has broken down. The town has been evacuated. There's no other people there. And you have to find the parts to fix your van by looting the houses around you. Meanwhile, there's an F5 tornado headed your way. Yeah, and there's a timer that ticks down. That's if you don't beat that timer before the F5 shows up, it's game over. But in between that time, the weather goes insane. There's lightning strikes, there's acid rain, there's hail that takes your life, like hail damage. And then little fucking I say little, but little tornadoes break off like constantly and just fucking rip houses apart. And if you get too close to those, they'll
decimate you.
Sirens start going off like the tornado. And they did a really good job with the sounds. Like you can hear the wind start to pick up and you're like, oh shit, there's a fucking tornado coming.
How do those sirens sound again?
Have you seen?
Death Note says you can't play with us,
dude.
Yeah, you're not invited. Am I invited?
Is Gary invited?
Yeah. Have you guys seen these vests that you put on before you play a game? It's supposed to be like a habitable feedback, like it'll vibrate on you and stuff. Yeah, haptic. Yeah. Have you guys thought about getting one of those?
I was trying to get TikTok to send me one.
That's the way to go. That's the way to go right there.
Yeah, because they're fucking expensive. They're like $600.
Yeah, it's recently popped on my feed, and I was like, that looks pretty interesting.
Yeah. That would be cool, especially for VR.
Yeah. Oh my God, those VR videos of people playing, but like you're watching them play. You don't see what they see, but like they're walking in the living room, and then all of a sudden they just fall over, or they run straight into their TV.
Like, well, what gets me is the mixed reality. That shit is cool as fuck. Where they'll be in a flight sim and they'll have their full cockpit set up, right? But you can outline it so the only thing that comes up as digital is the game itself, and it looks like you're actually in the plane, right? So you can see their hands and everything like through a normal camera, but then when they look out to the side, you're seeing the virtual, the game. But if they look down, you're seeing like their actual lap and all their actual controls and shit. That shit is cool as hell. It's just all done with masks and whatnot, but yeah.
Right.
That would be badass. It'd be cool if I could figure out a way to do that with the racing sim.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
You ever see those videos of it's like this Asian guy, and he plays like first-person shooter games, and he has like a piston on his shoulder, right? So whenever he shoots, it fucking, it kicks or whatever. When he's riding a vehicle, his whole chair bounces around. Yeah. Well, he shoots like a Barrett 50 cal or something like that, and it like blows him off his chair because it kicks so hard. Or like he ran into like a tree, and then they fall. It's really funny when they're able to do that. They get all that stuff set up.
One day I'm gonna do a no face TikTok stream, and I'm gonna figure out how to get that environment where it's just like the cockpit of the car, the wheel, and the windshield. You know what I mean? Like, so it's completely immersive for the viewer. I have a feeling TikTok will push the shit out of it, but then I always worry about losing the connection. You're
trying to do like a first person view stream.
But then you don't have any of this, with your community. Yeah,
I think as long as you're able to read the chat. Because I remember one of your racing streams I popped in on, you had over 1,000 people in there watching.
Yeah, that was F1.
I don't know if it was the same one that you got a cease and assist over.
Yeah, me and Lucid have always been transparent about that. That's me timing a F1 race with a real F1 race. You know? So you're hacking the FYP
That's the only time I ever get pushed on TikTok.
And I never
Got to do what you got to do.
I always go into the gaming category, and I'm doing what I've said I'm doing. I'm racing, F1 races in Japan or wherever it may be. The only hope is, maybe that's how you gain, new followers.
I only got banned once, but I had like the audio. I had the audio from the real race playing on stream, and I think that's what did it. Because I had the video up on another monitor, but you could not even really tell what was going on in that monitor. You know what I mean? Because it was my wheel cam, and then you could kind of see it over here. But I think it was the audio that got me banned.
Can anybody find the Shit Myself song? I want to add that to my stream.
I have to search it.
Shit myself. How?
Yeah, because I tried to find it. No, I was trying to find the Flick the Beam.
Yeah,
Flick the Beam one.
I think Death Note wants another foot stream, Iron.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, you want to see them?
I get that a lot.
Push them pedals.
Yeah. I pulled the camera back so it's more of like the whole rig, and everybody's like, "Where's the foot cam?" And I'm like, "My feet are right there." And it's like they want more. They want it closer.
They want the close up of them little pigs.
Want to see it barefoot. Want to see it double clutching.
Man, I had so many like strangers coming in. Like literally, the top comment was, "Man, feet for free is wild, bro."
I was one of them. I was like, "What the fuck did I just come into?"
Clickbait. It's clickbait.
Foot Finder for free.
That Shit Myself song. I was having a lot of fun with that. I was spending too much money on TikTok when that song was available. I was sending that multiple times, and I would just go in streams and go, and just send it.
I think you sent it to me 3 times at least.
Yeah, and I was like laughing like a kid. I was like,
I've been banned on TikTok so many times for stupid shit, like absolutely ridiculous shit. And now TikTok adds a pussy song. Like, what the fuck?
That shit's wild.
Like, that's okay, but I can't like take a drink of this Monster on stream without getting fucking banned. I've been banned for drinking a Monster.
People have been banned for drinking water.
Yeah. Yep. I've been banned because I had a hip on my side when I was at the fireworks stand. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Firearm on my hip. Yeah.
No, I said, oh, really?
Holstered, not fucking waving it around, never once took it out of the holster, but a dangerous weapon. I got banned for a fake sword fight with a fake lightsaber with my daughter.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Was that a video or was that a stream?
That was a video. The stream, I had a pistol on my hip, and that was a stream. I got banned for that. Just walking around the fireworks stand showing shit off. Those videos get banned every time. But I go to another video and I see a guy showing you, like, promoting his fucking tube that you fill with gasoline and it shoots fireballs into the sky. And that's okay, you know?
Yeah, I don't get it. There was awesome. It's probably one of my top thumbnails that Lucid ever did. We both put on suits and dressed like we were from the Matrix, and he had his hand out like this and had a red Robitussin and a green Robitussin, you know, for like the famous senior shit. And we fucking uploaded the thumbnail, and they hit both our videos for illegal substances. Like, yeah, you fucking kidding me? Like, come on.
No, they didn't. They didn't hit mine.
Oh, it was just me. It was just me. So it's luck of the draw. Like, it's just.
Was this before it was bought or after?
This was pre-US. Yeah.
Oh, this was before Israel owned it.
Oh, fucking Israel owns it.
Yeah. Yeah, because they were worried that it was in China's hands because the guy from Singapore owned it.
Did I send you the video of Howie Mandel crashing out?
You sent it. I wasn't able to watch it yet. But yeah, I'll have to watch it.
They were spamming the Poussey song, and he.
Oh, yep.
He fucking. It was Poussey. Like, you gotta stop. There's kids. Like, he's like, you can't do this. Just stop. This is not right. Like, he's like, I mean, it's just. And I'm like, oh my God, like, how's it? I can't believe it's still there. I didn't think it would make it past noon yesterday or 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't watch any streams today, so I don't know if it's still there today.
So
it
there probably still is a trick with that. So that the songs uploaded is French, right? So they've got Chinese songs, French songs, and in France, the translation to that is like I ride a seal, or it's something ridiculous.
A seal pushed me.
No sense. Yeah,
a seal pushed me.
Yeah. So that's how it's getting through.
Because I had somebody come in and actually type it in the chat, type those words in the chat. They copied the title, whatever that was. They copied it and pasted it in the chat, and it says it just like the song. It doesn't sing it, so I didn't get serenaded. So that was a jip. But I didn't get $1 out of it either. But yeah, they typed it in there, and that's what it said. And I was like, okay, what is this? And they're like, yeah, a seal pushed me. And I was like, and then when you sent me that video, I was like, oh, yeah.
Crazy.
I don't get I get TikTok so big. There's so many users. There's so many live streams going on. There's no way they can have human eyeballs on every stream. So there's got to be AI moderation. But why do so many other platforms get it right and TikTok gets it so fucking wrong? Like,
I don't know. And the fact that like you could get like restricted or some kind of strike for having music, but then somebody can send you a musical gift because it's not like they're short. Those things they're pretty long. It lasts quite a while because it'll do that a couple times.
You know,
well, I think that's. Go ahead, Lucid.
On what was it, last Saturday? I went live on TikTok for the first time in months. Right. I ended up getting 4 violations. So I had my face cam up top, game cam in the middle, and then I just had my logo at the bottom. And I kept getting these notifications for static image and all this shit, right? 4 violations. So after stream, I went into my violations. I looked at it, and every single fucking violation was on my shop account. Because apparently TikTok just decided to throw products onto my fucking thing. So it thought I was streaming as a shop live, even though I was in the gaming category, didn't link any products. They gave me 4 fucking violations. And in shop, each violation, like those violations were 8 points apiece. And you got to keep your score over 200 in order to be in the good, category. And so those hurt. Luckily, I peeled them all and I won all of them, which doesn't ever fucking happen. I never win an appeal, but I won all 4. But it's like, how do you fuck that up? Like I didn't even do anything. It was nowhere even closely related to shop anything.
And that's got serious financial impacts if that weren't overturned.
Yeah. What'd you say? It's 8 points per, so it's minus 32 points.
Those ones were 8 points per. I've gotten one before that was like 24 points for misrepresenting a product, even though it was a product that they sent me that everything was legit on, and that one was not overturned. So yeah,
makes sense. It makes sense if you don't think about it.
It's like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah. So like, I have a love-hate relationship with that app for sure.
I love to hate TikTok every day.
Yes.
Yeah. It can be good, and to me it's a simple fix.
It used to be so good back in the day. Like when I started, it was fucking amazing.
It's almost like gun laws.
It's just trash now. It's just trash
now. You take
now.
Chicago that has the most gun regulations ever, right? And they have the worst murder rate by guns. And you look at TikTok, and they're the most restrictive platform out there when it comes to freedom of speech and some of the things we're talking about. So is that comparison viable? Like to compare, because if they didn't have so many stupid restrictions, then the AI wouldn't be tripping on its fucking self every other day trying to enforce some of these silly rules and confusing a bottle of water for vodka. Is that why Twitch doesn't have that problem, because they're not overregulated? Is that why YouTube doesn't have that problem, because they're not overregulated?
Right. I don't know. YouTube's not over-regulated, but YouTube is still over-regulated or regulated as well.
For copyright stuff.
For gun stuff. There's a very fine line on YouTube with
monetization,
firearms
and speech. Certain things you say. You used not be able to say COVID, and they would demonetize your video.
Right. But we don't got to worry about that here because we're not monetized, so fuck them.
Boom.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wasn't making no money on this anyway.
Yeah. Right. I think we're like, I don't know. Last I checked, we had like 1,800 watch hours, and we need 3,000. And then we get to the first level of monetization, which is not where I want to be. I want to get us into that ad money. I don't give a shit about gifts and all that bullshit on YouTube. You know what I mean? I've said that from the beginning, though. Make money off companies, not people. That's what I'm trying to do.
Right. Stop having your friends pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking excited. I got the new Luna Ultras on the way for free. They're sent like in Insta360 sending me that fucking camera. It's crazy. Crazy.
What is that?
It's basically this camera.
Okay.
This style of camera, but it's been out for like a week. It's the new hotness from Insta360.
Okay.
If you look at any shop videos, you're probably seeing the Insta360 on there.
It's like a high quality 8K Osbot mounted on a.
Yeah, it's basically this with 2 lenses. It's got a 12 times zoom.
So like you move around and it's got like a gyro and it stays.
Yeah,
where it's supposed to. Okay.
Little screen. You can vertical, horizontal. A lot of content creators. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can run down the street with this thing, This
so we went to.
This is what I was talking about. This is the Extra Muse. This is basically the DJI. This is the same exact camera as the DJI Pocket 4, but branded differently.
So we went to San Martin a couple months back for my little brother-in-law's wedding, and they had a videographer, and he had like this chest rig set up where it looked like he was kind of wearing a plate carrier, and he had like I know it as a gyro, but he had that thing on there, and he had the camera. So whenever he would move, it made sure the picture was straight, and he would like turn, and the camera would stay right where it was.
A gimbal, right?
Sure.
I want to get a gimbal for this camera. Because these cameras, they take great video, but they don't have any stabilization at all. There's none. So you kind of need a gimbal.
Move a lot?
Well, if I was
just for like shaking the table.
No, I want the gimbal for like YouTube videos and that kind of shit, like handheld video shots, you know. So, but you know, I can shoot fucking YouTube in 8K now as soon as I get this camera. So fuck it. I guess I don't need one now.
8K.
There you go.
It's good. You go ahead. I don't have anything that'll play 8K.
I don't either. I'm not going to record in 8K.
Like my phone doesn't even play 8K.
I've done a lot. I've seen a lot of reviews on this camera. Like since I found out I was getting it, I've like researched the shit out of it. And the 4K looks better than the 8K. Just because you're used to seeing 4K, I guess. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like you remember when 1080p first came out, it was mind blowing. You know what I mean? Like when HD first came out, it was like, holy shit. Like I didn't even have my first 4K anything until I got my monitor, you know?
Like you could record in it, but you couldn't watch.
I can't watch movies in 4K OLED. Like my buddy spent like ridiculous money on like a 45-inch a couple years back when those, that would have been like a $2,000 TV, you know, for like a 40-inch. And like we were watching like Fast and the Furious. It was something with Vin Diesel. And like Vin Diesel, like it looks realer. I remember saying, I was like, this looks realer than real life. Like I can't focus on the movie. I'm so like in awe. Like, what the fuck am I looking at?
You can see like every pore in his face.
Yeah. And like his head stood out different from like the background. And it looked realer than real life. I was like, what am I looking at?
That's how I felt when I got my first 1080p TV. Because I did a bunch of work for my dad, and how he paid me was he bought me this fucking TV. It was when 3D video came out, right? So you could watch 3D at home. I got this TV and I'm watching this thing and I'm like, this looks like you're looking like through a window at people on the other side. It looked absolutely like insane to me. And I didn't get that same feeling like jumping from 1080p to 4K. I didn't get that same feeling, but you know, it was pretty crazy just jumping up to 1080p from standard definition, whatever the fuck that was, you know.
Yeah.
480 or whatever the hell it was.
That's like when I first got on TikTok and somehow went to Lucid stream for the very first time. And like all anybody would ask Lucid in the stream is, what fucking camera do you use, bro? Like 2 years ago. Like he was like,
and that was just an Elgato.
No, it was your Sony. Because I remember
the Sony, when I first got it.
I was like, hey bro, I was like, what camera do you use? I was like, good God. And you were like Sony ZV, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, the fuck did he just say? He didn't say Logitech.
A camera.
Yeah. I didn't spout out any webcam, right? Yeah. So
yeah, it was Sony ZV-10 with a sniper super lens.
You can get this camera on TikTok
8mm. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, you were ahead of the curve there because I didn't see any like literally like your stream just was like pop.
Now a lot of streams have high quality cameras.
Yeah,
I've noticed on TikTok especially. Yeah,
where they're using like DLRs.
Yeah. This one's a mirrorless.
I went and copied and got the same camera.
Same camera.
The camera Lucid has is the camera I got, and that's the camera that Riley got for Christmas. Like. But Lucid
I'm over here as a peasant. I'm just using an Elgato face cam.
Lucid used that camera 2 years ago, though. Like 2 years ago, nobody fucking.
I actually did a whole video on what lenses to pick and about this camera just for you and Riley. Yeah. There's a whole YouTube video on it on this channel. Just for you. You should feel special.
Always. I am special. My mom tells me every day.
Yeah. You're her special boy.
Yeah, my dad's been giving me the silent treatment for years.
That was a big birthday, so I felt bad. I thought my mom was turning 64. It was her 65th birthday last weekend. I know I talked about it last podcast, but she had a good time. I have a couple of videos. I want to make a montage, and I want it to be like, does your 65-year-old mom still do this? And it's going to be my mom, like, stage front, dancing in front of a fucking rock band, like, you know, and, like, she's riding she rides a tube on the lake, you know what I mean? Like, the same video on TikTok of me riding the fucking wiener tube that seats like 5 people. She
didn't
gets
ride
on
the
that.
wiener.
She rides the wiener. Mom rides the
Nice.
wiener.
Good for 65. So ride the wiener.
65 fucking runs like with 25-year-olds. You know, like it's amazing.
That's fucking awesome.
It's awesome.
She'd probably still whoop your ass, huh?
She would. She would. She's sweet.
Yeah, she had to.
Man, and then today at work, I know I'm squirreling out here. Now we're on to like life stuff. But a guy I work with, 46 years old. I've known him for 20 years. You know, not like a best buddy, but I would consider him a work friend, you know. Like if I saw him, I'd give him the handshake and pull him in. Like, hey man, how you been? You know? We go way back. Fucking died 4th of July weekend. Just
Jesus.
At 46?
46 had a
wow.
aneurysm in his lung. He was eating dinner with his family on 4th of July and said he felt weird, went to the hospital. They couldn't figure out what was going on. And then just bam, he was gone. It was his aneurysm in his lung, and they didn't figure that out in time, I guess, to catch it or do anything about it. I was just fucking 46 years old, you know?
Yeah, it's way too young.
Happens every day, you know. We always say it. It just hits close to home when it's somebody you know, but God damn.
Death Note, how many days to Vegas? How many days to Vegas, Death Note? She's been like counting down.
What's Vegas?
We're meeting in Vegas.
Well, like, what do you guys got planned? Like, how many days?
We're gonna be there Halloween. We're gonna do the podcast from Fremont. Yeah, on Halloween. And really, we're just gonna wing it. I think Death Note's making all kinds of plans for us, so we'll see.
All her plans are food. Like we're gonna be eating 8 meals a day if Death Note's in charge.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what I told her. I go, we don't have fucking.
We got 3 days
there. Yeah,
we got 3 days, but she sent us 37.5 restaurants.
Yeah, we got 9 meals in Vegas, not fucking 37.
9 meals a day.
Sounds like you got 37.
Yeah, 9 meals a day. We might get close.
Yeah. Fucking crazy. Yeah, I land on the 20. I go the 29th and I leave on the 1st, like late on the 1st.
Same, yeah. I'm right there with you.
But yeah, I gotta lug all this fucking camera gear and shit with me too. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
You have like a Pelican case or anything?
I don't have a Pelican case. I think it'll all fit in my carry-on though. I'm gonna take it in my carry-on. Yeah, I got some hard cases and shit, but nothing.
Yeah, they're gonna love that going through TSA.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I got probably have a backpack or something to use for personal items. They make suitcases that are the perfect size for personal items, but they're suitcases. I have one, and they're like absolutely there's no way. I don't think you could find a better bag. Like you could probably fit everything in that. And it's
I think. Well, I think I can take 2 full-size suitcases plus a personal item and a carry-on.
Damn. That's right, because you're flying first class, motherfucker.
That's a lot of 3 days.
He booked first class. I've never flown first class in my life.
And you know what? TikTok paid for it all.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. I was like, fuck it. I've never done it. I'm going by myself. You know, the wife wasn't going, so that's only 1 ticket I got to buy. So, okay. Why not? Both ways. I'm sitting like the first row both ways. Outside seat.
If an 85-year-old woman with missing a leg and she's a veteran walks by you, are you gonna give her your seat?
Sure.
He's gonna look the other way. I didn't see her.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, sorry. I'm on my phone. Or no, I got one of those comfort hoodies, the airplane mode hoodies. I'll just put the fucking eye thing down and pretend I'm asleep.
Sorry, I put you on the spot like that. That's a tough question. I mean, you're like, it's my first time.
I'd do that one way. I ain't doing it both ways. I gotta get the experience at least once.
Fair, at least once. Fuck, yeah, true that. You get it. Yeah, you do have two.
Catch one of those on each flight, and on the way back, be like, sorry, I did it on the first flight. I can't do it on this one.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you should have been on my first flight.
That's that guy over there.
I don't know that they let you trade seats on a plane.
Yeah, you're right. I wonder. You know,
I don't think they do, because their itinerary, or their manifest.
Yeah,
Is that the right word?
you're
Has
right.
to line up.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up.
So I don't know that they'd let you, because they want to know who every.
I'm sorry,
person
ma'am. FAA regulations. I can't give up my seat.
Yeah. Sorry. And I got pre-checked through work, so that's nice. I've never actually utilized that, but I actually am doing that this time.
Get to cut all the way to the front of the line.
Yeah, just walk right through TSA pretty much.
Airlines generally do not allow you to give your first class seat to someone in the economy once boarding begins. Yeah, though policies vary on official transfers and mid-flight swaps.
Weird. Yeah, I'm flying Alaska both ways, so. Oh.
Moving a passenger from economy up into first class mid-flight is technically prohibited by most major carrier rules and safety manifests.
So that'd be up to the airline then.
Right. I think if you're not flying American, you're okay.
You're off the hook, Lucid. You don't have to give your seat up.
Right.
You gotta follow the rules.
Yeah. Damn it. Sorry, but
sorry, lady, regulations.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a window seat both ways anyway. So the guy on the outside can give it up, because I don't think a 80-year-old veteran missing a leg is going to want the inside. You know what I mean?
It's getting kind of late, Gary. Is there anything we didn't ask you that you want to tell the world?
No, I think that'll be good for a first one. Maybe I'll get invited back again and we can pick something else fun.
For sure.
Like I said, there's a lot rattling around inside.
Yeah, I only wrote one thing down, and that was the AIDS epidemic thing. Like, I'm gonna end up down the rabbit hole on that, because that's
it was a very similar thing where like they promoted. I can't remember what they did for COVID. It was something that he had stock and he was promoting that. It was the same thing in the 80s. It was AZT. And people weren't dying of HIV; they were dying due to the side effects of the AZT. And he was getting protested, and
I have a question for you, Gary. Where do you stand on? Actually, I have two. Where do you stand on like the Carolina hurricanes and what happened with all that?
When the hurricane hit inland North Carolina?
Yeah.
Well, what I can tell you is in the 50s, they dropped some dry ice into a hurricane and they steered it inland on accident.
Yeah.
So I definitely think there's weather manipulation that goes on. Was it HARP? I'm not sure who it was. But what I do know is hurricanes usually don't hit inland North Carolina.
Right.
And just happen to stop.
But more
right
so
on top of where there's a giant lithium deposit in a mountain.
Right. But more so how the government handled the situation.
Oh, that was anytime FEMA gets involved, it's horrible. That's the worst thing that can happen once FEMA gets involved. So, to the data center stuff. So usually what happens, there seems to be like these coincidences, right? So there'll be a company that comes in and they want a data center. So they'll get with the council or whatever. And all of a sudden there'll be uproar from the community because they're like, we don't want a data center here, because there's you have to use so much water to keep them cool. There's pollution. You're also displacing wildlife and stuff like that. So there'll be an uproar. All of a sudden there'll be a fire. Eminent domain. It happened in the county next to where I live. There was videos going around TikTok about data center wanting to come in, and then there was people going there like, we haven't even done the proper studies yet to see how this is going to affect the area. Then there was a fire. Lasted about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening with data center. Got awfully quiet, but if I had to bet, I'd say it passed.
Yeah. Like, it always seems to lead to a land grab of some sort.
Yeah.
All these,
just like the fires in Hawaii, the fires
Maui,
in California.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah. The Palisades, Maui. Yep. Crazy. So the other thing I wanted to ask you about is 9/11.
Which part?
Like, wherever you want to go with it, because I have very strong feelings.
You ever see Loose Change?
I have, yes, 100%.
You ever see the Dancing Israelis?
No.
So, I'm I'm not saying they had anything to do with it, but there's a video of after the planes hit, there was a bunch of dancing Israelis that were celebrating because America just got what do they call it? Castrated, because it was the Twin Towers, it was the trade buildings.
Right.
Also, I've been in aviation for over 2 decades now, right? So apparently a plane crashed on its way to the Pentagon, right? So there was a plane
in
hit
Pennsylvania.
each of the towers. Right.
Yeah, one hit the Pentagon, one hit landed in or crashed in a field.
When's the last time you saw the footage of that plane crash by the Pentagon?
You should watch it
again.
Yeah.
You should watch it again, because what I can tell you is there's not one plane part in the video.
No, there's not. No.
You can't find a wheel. You can't find, I work on airplanes. I work on, I think they said it was a 767. I've worked on 767s. It's a large plane. They just don't disintegrate.
No.
You're going to find a wheel. You're going to find an engine. You're going to find a panel. You're going to find something.
Well,
there's just like smoke. There's nothing there.
No. I totally think
the rivers of gold that were running as the buildings were dropped on their own footprint.
I didn't see that. Rivers of
gold. So there was a large gold deposit in those buildings, and apparently the fire was burning so hot that it was actually making like rivers of gold, like streams of gold from all of it being melted. And then what do you know about Building 7?
World Trade Center 7 just fell over by itself. No,
they pulled it. They decided to pull it because of the structural damage. Because 2 other buildings over here got hit. And that happened to be, so there was it wasn't a press conference. It was like a hearing, like a congressional hearing where they were questioning Rumsfeld, and they lost track of like $2.3 trillion. We don't know. It's not accounted for. I don't know what happened. That was on September 10th. September 11th. Oops. Lost all the records.
Yeah.
Plane happened to hit where the office was that was investigating that.
Yeah. If you watch Loose Change, it goes into great detail on temperatures and planes that have hit buildings in the past, and not a single one, like that building would not have burned hot enough to just completely make it implode into its own footprint.
No.
There's no way
jet fuel doesn't burn hot enough to melt steel.
Right.
Just a fact. That's all it is. That's just a fact. Jet fuel doesn't burn hot enough to melt steel. And there's only been 2 buildings that have ever been hit by a plane and then fell down on their own footprint like that. And they both happened on the same day. They came down like they were destroyed, like they were brought down, demolition.
Right.
There was, I think Loose Change went into it, but about the vans that were going into those buildings at night and they were working on the elevators.
Yes.
Because it was made with this like steel reinforcement in the center of the building, so that way if anything happened on the sides, all the reinforcements were in the middle. Right. Well, you do demolition on the core. Demolition on the core brings the whole thing down, because that's where all the structure was.
Well, in Loose Change, they zoomed into the buildings and you can see the controlled explosions going all the way down.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely see it, like floor by floor.
Yep.
You can't tell me a fire all the way up here on like the 70th floor is ruining the bottom.
Right.
Fire doesn't go down.
No.
What do you guys think about 9/11 special podcast on September 10th?
Sure. I'm down.
Completely focused on.
Yeah. I should be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, we're not locking it in now. Just I'm throwing that.
Well, because I got to go up to Michigan to get that house ready to sell, and I haven't locked down the dates yet, but it'll be like at the end of August.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
No, I think I can make it work. Is that a Thursday?
You know who else is 9/11 deep dive is Negley.
Well, September 10th is also Charlie Kirk's.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah. So Death Note actually asked where you stood on that.
Oh, Charlie? Well, this is what I do know. So he was very pro-Israel, for a long time. And then when he started to not be pro-Israel, all of a sudden he got shot in the neck with a 30-06 that didn't have an exit wound.
That's the same thing that happened to JFK.
I don't know if anybody's ever shot a 30-06 before, but it'll remove the head off an animal.
Yeah.
And it just made a tiny little.
I've been seeing a lot more coming out about his lapel mic exploding.
There's
controlled
also another. There's just weird stuff that happened with that. So where he was sitting when he got shot, the next day they paved over it.
What the fuck?
They paved over it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The next day, not a couple weeks later, the next day. What you got, Death Note? Yeah. I promise you. The next day, they paved over it.
I said, did they pave over? And Google completed the rest of the sentence. The area where Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
No, I think we lost. I think we lost a really good one when we lost Charlie Kirk, because this is what he did. He went out to campuses and he just talked. Right, that freedom of speech, like, because there's again the two sides thing. They're like, oh, if you can't talk, you resort to violence. You know, blah blah blah. They don't want to be all right. So he just went out and he talked to college kids or whoever wanted to talk to him, and they killed him for it.
Yep.
That thing that they said that they wanted to do, they just want to talk, and then they killed him for it because he was better at it.
Yep, 100%.
Is it really 10:43 right now? Wow,
that is wild.
It's only 7:45.
There's podcasts where the guy who actually paved over the crime scene has been on podcasts.
Yeah, and it was the next day, right? They got him out.
It was the next
day. Like, no companies can do shit like that the next fucking day.
They
paid
it
him
was
a
after
lot of goddamn money.
Investigation was over. What day?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So Death Note has another question.
If you went to
September 13th, 3 days after.
Okay, so
that's nuts. They said they did it
Gary,
because the investigation was over.
Where's the safest state to take shelter? Utah or Idaho? Those are good ones. It depends on how you are in the winter. If you can survive the winter, Utah and Idaho would be good. I like the South, but you got to find like a happy medium. But I can understand Utah or Idaho because you can see people coming at you from really far away. You know, vast plains. Because I have things where I can do my self-defense from like 1,600 yards. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Self-defense.
I don't have anything that big, brother?
But yeah.
I've got.
Well, I mean, it's not that it's big, but it's accurate.
Yeah, you know? I've got some accurate stuff, but I wouldn't be comfortable with a a 5.56 or a 7.62.
No.
At that far.
No, I got a
maybe like a 6.5 Creed or something.
I got a 24-inch barreled 308.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have anything that big.
Yeah.
That long.
I think there's a lot more to consider when you say take shelter. You know, like there's West Virginia has been identified because of not only the mountains, terrain, and the woods vicinity from DC and other major cities, but also the jet stream. So if there were biological attacks in the air, the way the jet stream works is it wouldn't bring it, like the main path of the jet stream wouldn't bring it over into West Virginia. Like there's West Virginia's been identified. I'm not saying it's number one, but it's pretty high up there, and it's not just because
I would probably say somewhere more inland, close to like a river or a body of water. So you'd have another escape route. Like you'd be able to go upriver, downriver. But yeah, the coast leaves you exposed to. I mean, let's be honest. No country is really going to come attack us on land, because before Pearl Harbor, a Japanese general was asked if they thought, Japan or any country would attack America, and they're like, no. Behind every blade of grass, there's a rifle, because we have more guns than we have people in this country.
That's why they want to take them away.
Right. So that's why we're You're not too worried about an actual land invasion because there's, what. So it wasn't this year. I think it was last year. The largest standing army, by the loosest of definitions, was everybody that applied for a hunting license in the United States. Because there was more people that applied for rifle hunting. You get your rifle tickets or whatever state you call them, something different. Than there are people in our military.
Right.
So usually active, you're looking at a few million people active in the military. Anywhere from like 3 to 5 usually. There's about 15 to 16 million veterans. So you don't even really got to worry about the active members, because if they're overseas, they're overseas. You still have the people at home that are, I don't have a rules of engagement.
Right.
You know
no shit.
I mean?
Yeah.
I have to tell Death Note that West Virginia is not the East Coast. There's no oceanfront property in West Virginia.
No, there's not.
I'd still consider it East Coast though.
It's not East Coast. It's pretty far in. I mean, it's not mid USA. 1 and 3/2, 1 and 3/4. Quick chat GPT says that the very top place considered by preppers would be Idaho and Wyoming.
Yeah, I mean that does make sense. But the only thing
nobody wants to go to Wyoming.
If you're from the South, you're not prepared for the winter. So me being from the North, I know about the winters. I know how to handle winters. Just like I believe Seattle doesn't get a whole lot of snow. They get a lot of rain.
Yep.
Right. So anybody that would be over on the West Coast up there, if they were to go to like Idaho or Wyoming, once it's wintertime, they might lose their shit too. They're really probably not going to know what to do because they don't get it either.
The number 3 was Alaska.
Most time of the year. But then there's times of the year where not so much.
Yeah, right. Also depends in Alaska where you're at,
Yeah. But yeah, I'd probably try to go to like the Panhandle of Texas. Yeah. Maybe a little bit north of that. Well, I guess Wyoming's right there, right? Right there by the Panhandle of Texas. If my map inside of my head's correct. I don't know. Maybe I just say shit sometimes.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure Wyoming's right there close to the pan. I'm pretty sure that's by the Panhandle of Texas. But that'd be good, where like the weather should be relatively similar year round.
I don't know. I think we're stuck in the past if we ever think war is going to look like it does in our minds or in the movies. No. Wars are going to be fought with drones and bombs, and their troops on the ground is.
Well, that's physical war. So, anytime we're doing stuff like that,
Wyoming's nowhere near Texas.
I just say shit.
New Mexico,
what am I thinking of? What
Oklahoma,
state is that?
Arkansas, Louisiana.
No,
Wyoming's like 3 states above Texas.
Yeah,
right? Like
is it really? Close enough. Close enough.
Yeah, Wyoming's right above Colorado, next to Idaho.
Yeah.
You're way the fuck off.
God damn, you're just as bad as Death Note calling West Virginia fucking East Coast.
No, I think mine's worse. Well, I would still consider West Virginia East Coast, because Virginia's the East Coast, right?
Yeah, we have coast.
Yeah, I would consider West Virginia.
So is Tennessee East Coast?
It's technically East Coast. It's not on the fucking coast, but it's.
Well, I would consider Nevada West Coast.
Yes. Yeah.
No, it's the Midwest.
It's not the Midwest.
No,
that's where you're way off.
No.
That's where you're way off.
They consider Michigan coast. It's not on the coast.
Okay. That's a way to think about it. We'd have to see what Webster has to say about it.
Science supports my claims.
Yeah.
Where's my mask? I plead the fifth.
Oh, I minimized it for some reason. God damn it.
Oh, yeah. If Michigan is Midwest, then West Virginia is East Coast. Because they consider Michigan the Midwest. But it was labeled at the time. At the time, we didn't have the Western expansion.
Let's see if I can.
Okay, I'd probably go with Oklahoma then.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Oklahoma.
We don't need a war to take us down. We're gonna get taken down from the inside out.
Well, that's exactly what it is. So, like your physical war, we're gonna win that hands down, because at that point, it's just like when you got siblings that fight and stuff. Well, the moment somebody from the outside picks on like your little brother or whatever, well, now you got to deal with all the siblings, because like I know that's the way my oldest daughter is. Like she picks on her siblings, but nobody picks on her, on her siblings on the bus. Like, those are mine to bully. So that's when the people they're gonna come together.
Peach Bum's back, catching up on the rabbit holes.
Catch up on the rabbit holes.
So many.
Down a bunch tonight. Holy shit!
We dabbled in a little bit.
I don't think we'll ever see a attack with military presence on the U.S. in our lifetimes. The attack is from the inside. Like
I think the only military attack we would see would be our own military.
Well, I think the attack from the inside is controlling news, controlling social media, creating turmoil. They could attack the power grid, and what it's going to lead to is that divide. Cyber. No, it's going to be us fighting each other. Like that's going to be the apex of everything they've worked towards. The apex will be they cause enough chaos in the United States for us to start fighting each other. What more genius can you do? You already said we have more guns than people. Like the biggest war is going to be us fighting ourselves. That's that. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying that's what other countries are working towards.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say other countries. I would say, okay, so there's people that are like, little puppeteers running our politicians, running our country. We're not the only country on the planet. So they're doing that in all the countries, except for maybe a couple. The ones that are taking it back. Like I believe they took themselves back. They're definitely a lot better because they're not communist. There's this idea that Russia is still communist, but they're not. They're not a communist country anymore. We have a lot more in common with Russia than people want to admit. So there's no reason for us to be at odds with Russia or to be at odds with China. There's no reason any country to be at odds with any other country. There's no reason why the three biggest superpowers on the planet should be at two of them shouldn't be at odds with one.
Oh yeah, but if one country goes to war with itself, then other countries pick up the slack when it comes to shipping and production and monetary gains, and next thing they're the global power and they're number one. So there's a lot at play there. I would be curious to know, and I'll just throw out some numbers. Let's just say, this is probably high. Let's say 10% of the American population are the extreme left and the extreme right. And tomorrow, if you told them it was free for all, they could go to war for each other. They would go to war and attack each other. You know what I mean? Like for whatever crazy beliefs they have.
Like the Purge.
Yeah. Let's just say 10%, which I think is probably a little high. But if we went back in time, what would that number be in the 90s? What would that number be in the 80s? What would that number be in the 70s? I guarantee it's an upward ramp. So if that were to continue, at what point does it get to 50% would have that same mentality? Like what has to occur to cause 50% of the American population to be that extreme mindset, and that's, to me, that's when the shit hits the fan. That's the war.
Yeah. So most people, they're not actually watching the TV. Just because they're the loudest on the TV or the loudest on social media doesn't mean that's most accurate. Most people, they just want to be left alone. They just want to go to work. They want to put food on the table. They want to take care of their family. That's all they want to do. They're not even worried about, they don't vote. They don't care. They're like, look, I'm just trying to put gas in my car and go to work and feed my family. That's all I want to do.
Trying to survive.
They're not interested on what bathroom somebody else is using. Like, I don't care. I have my own bathroom. I don't shit in Walmart anyway.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, everybody's got a tipping point.
Absolutely.
So what is that tipping point, and how does someone cause the environment for that tipping point, whether, so you said that people want to stay to themselves, go to work, provide for their family.
Most people do. Yeah.
Maybe
most
that's their tipping point when they can no longer go to work, when they can no longer provide for their family. That's their tipping point. So now they fall into one side of that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, as that number continues to go up over time, and which history would show it's going to continue to climb unless something changes. At some point, it'll hit 20%, 30%, 40%. What's the world look like then? And
yeah, I don't know, but there has to be something. So, when Trump was elected, so the pendulum had swung so far one way with Obama that it was a violent correction with Trump to swim back the other way, right? We need somebody more in the center. You know what I mean? The center, because there really isn't sides. Everybody basically wants the same thing. They want their family to be safe. They want to take care of them. That's most people's driving force. Or they want to make a family, and they're making that very difficult for people just to be able to take care of their family. Because I know I am in the small percentage where if I were to go to the gas pump or to go to Walmart, go to the grocery store, I can just swipe my card regardless of what the price is going to be. Because I know I'm not spending thousands of dollars at one time. But if I got a couple $100 in groceries, I know if I swipe my card, it's going to work. You know what I mean? But I know I'm not the rule. I'm the exception. A lot of people can't do that. Like they're like, okay, well, we have to get this week, or they may be like, okay, well, I can pay the power bill with this paycheck, but the phone bill is gonna have to wait. It's gotta wait till next paycheck. There's a lot of people that are like that.
Yep.
Because the economy hasn't gotten as good as what we were promised.
Not even close.
Yeah.
I hope I never see a future like that. I just truly.
Oh no,
when we talk about wars, that's where I see if there were ever to be a war in the United States on our grounds.
It's gonna be civil. Yeah, it's absolutely gonna be civil. It's gonna be from within. It's gonna be just like what Captain America Civil War, when the guy just exposes what happened, and then they tear themselves apart.
Yep.
That's the most likely scenario, because to be attacked from outside in, it wouldn't be successful.
Well, what do you think, guys? I got to get ready for work.
Hell of a podcast.
Ooh,
definitely got to have Gary back.
Yeah, sure. I'll start doing some research and get my ducks in a row for the 10th, if you guys want to do that.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah,
the 10th on a Thursday.
Okay. When's the next one? Is the next one with our next guest, or
the 13th?
Okay. So next Lucid Squrl podcast, we're having Willie Goat on. I'm sure a lot of people know her from TikTok. She's gotten into the TikTok shop lately as well. Yeah, should be a good one.
Yeah,
next week.
She's been in the streaming scene for quite a while. She's definitely an OG.
Yeah, she's been around for a while.
I actually think she was the first person I sent a gift to.
She was probably one of the largest streamers I followed in my getting on TikTok in the beginning.
Yeah. Long time ago.
I think Squrl sent me her live back in the day.
Really?
Yeah. I think so.
Of course I do.
Yeah, man. And I don't think I ever seen her until then, and I used to spend a lot of time in streams back then. And yeah, I think you were the one that sent her to me.
Did you ever hear the story of how I met Lucid, Gary?
I think vaguely.
It was like I think it was my first stream, and per noob standards, first stream ever, audio issues, working
no viewers.
Just the friends, that I'm playing Fortnite with. That was right. All that was in stream. Lucid comes in and he talks and he sends a galaxy, and I miss it. Like, I completely missed the gift. I didn't have gift alert set up right, and I called it afterwards, and he had already left. And like I sent him, we have the message in our chat. We scrolled back. Well, it took us a fucking year to scroll back to it, right? Because we were like, we wonder if it's still there. And it was a message I sent him where I was like, "Hey man, I'm so sorry. It was my very first stream, and like, wow, thank you for the gift." And you know what I mean? Like it was all there. And then after that, I went into his stream and fucking became best friends. Next thing you know,
nice.
Here we are.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the story. Those are the good stories from TikTok.
There was, I think it was one of my first ones. Somebody had sent me one Galaxy, and they were like, "Oh, I love to support small streamers," and I thanked them for it, whatever. And then I sent him like a message through TikTok later. I haven't talked to the guy since.
Yeah, that's the way it is, man. Either you click or you don't.
Yeah. I sent him a DM saying thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, but it's greatly appreciated. And then I don't think I saw the guy since then.
Oh. I think you upset Death Note, Iron.
What?
Whoa.
What?
Because he said best friends. That's what I'm assuming.
So have you guys met in real life before?
No.
What was that?
No, Vegas will be the first time.
Okay, that was where I was going to go. So Vegas would be your first.
Yeah, I'm gonna hug him, then I'm gonna whoop his ass.
How many people from the streaming, or have you met through streaming? Have you met in real life?
I've met Death Note. When we went down to down there, we met up with her, and then Hockey Mom came to Seattle, and I met her over in Seattle. That's pretty much it, I think.
Hockey Mom was my first. I was working in North Carolina for work, and she was visiting family, and she mentioned she was going to be at the this is the Charlotte airport, and I was like, holy shit, my hotel's like 10 minutes from there, and ended up picking her up and taking her to her family's house. We would stop for lunch, and that was it. But
oh, that's cool.
Cool.
That's cool.
Picked her from the airport, chauffeured her to where the family was at, and stopped for a random lunch, and that was it. I was like, shoo. Then I texted people, and I was like, I'm alive. She didn't kill me. Like, I'm not dead.
Who else going? Good. Who else? Do we have anyone else that's going to Vegas? Or
Zach and Death Note are locked in. Zach and his wife. Zach, Dino Tamer wifey, are locked in. They bought tickets. We know Death Note and her husband locked in. You are locked in. I'm locked in. Well, that's it for locked in. There's a lot of maybes.
And Hockey Mom.
I think as time gets good.
Hockey Mom.
Oh, Hockey Mom's locked in. Okay, that's another lock in.
Yeah, that's all I know of.
Yeah, there's some maybes out there that are just waiting for certain chips to fall to see.
And you never know what's going to happen.
My sisters were talking about booking a trip because I was talking about it last weekend when I was with them, and they're like, "What? I want to go." Like.
Never been to Vegas?
They've been. We haven't been as a group though.
I've been to Vegas several times. I think last year is the first year I didn't go to Vegas.
Yeah, I've been twice. Two.
I was in the casino business for a long time when I was younger.
That's right. You were a dealer.
That will lead you to Vegas.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I actually got my first casino job like a month after I turned 18. And in this state, you can...
Looks like you got another maybe.
Peach Bum. Yeah, Peach Bum's a maybe.
Yeah, got another maybe.
Gonna try. I think... Yeah, it was like a month after my 18th birthday. Casino. They were opening a casino in the second floor of the bowling alley I worked in, and I just applied and got the job. So that was cool. And I was still in high school dealing cards in a casino.
That's cool. That's street cred right there.
Yeah, I did that for a while. Then I went to an Indian casino, learned craps and all that. Then I went to another Indian casino when they were opening. So right when they started, right before they were even opening, I helped train all their craps dealers and shit. And then I went back to my original casino because they were opening a card room or a poker room. So I dealt poker for a long time.
Will you teach me craps?
And then yeah, we can try.
I've always wanted to try, and I've always been intimidated because it's just fucking.
Yeah, like I forgot a lot, but I know the basics now. But I used to be pretty good. That's all I used to play was craps, and then I switched to all I would play was poker for a long time.
When you show me, can we not include Death Note? Can she go stand in the corner? Put Death Note in the corner while we go off.
Nobody puts Death Note in the corner. She doesn't share.
I can see her at the craps table, like nudging me out of the way. Like,
right? She's like putting her chips in between ours.
Reaches her arm. Totally. It's hilarious.
Shit. Yep, I can see it.
All right, boys. Awesome podcast. This is
cool.
One for the books.
All right.
And our first time on Twitch. First stream on Twitch, and we did well thanks to Gary. I mean, I had more viewers on Twitch than I've ever had in my life on Riley
Twitch.
raid. The Riley raid was
Riley.
Yeah, that Riley raid. That's what did
I mean, what are we at? We're sitting at. I saw it earlier. We're sitting at 18 still. Usually we don't even like cap out at 18. 18 total between YouTube and Twitch. Nobody on. Not one single chat on Facebook. Facebook never gets anyone. Yeah.
Facebook's not good for gaming streams. It's not good for any live content at this point anymore.
I would go ahead and say Facebook's not good for anything except for a marketplace.
Yeah, the marketplace is the shit.
Well, other than that, there's nothing but sadness on Facebook. I don't care what
Facebook.
I don't care what you had for dinner.
A lot of the creators that are on TikTok for the shop swear by Facebook, but you need 5,000 followers.
Selling shit, selling stuff, yeah.
Well, through I don't know where. It's not through Marketplace, but it requires 5,000 followers. Iron
Peach Bum, good night.
Good night.
Have a good night. Good night. Death Note, bye.
Anyway.
See that? Bye.
What do you want, my social security number? All right, guys. 2 weeks, Willie Goat, and we will be back. Much love and good night. Gary, thank you for coming on. It was a blast.
Hey, anytime.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. It was.
I actually woke up for this one. It's been a struggle getting me out of bed. But yeah. So 2 weeks from now. Oh, see, I'm not fucking prepared.
Hit the music button.
Okay.
Much love. Thank you.
Much love.
Awesome.
Stay lucid.
Stay squirrely.
To the Lucid Squrl Podcast.